Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy who's had a paper route for 25 years but never collected, Pete Schwaba.
Hey, welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be back on the air, talking about all the fun things in life. Movies, TV, comedy, music, you name it, we've got it here on Nite Lite. Happy Wednesday. I almost said happy Monday, Aaron, because it feels like a Monday. What does it feel like to you?
To me, it feels like a Wednesday. But to be fair, You didn't have the show yesterday or the day before.
I have not done a show since last Wednesday, a live show. We've got 2 live shows this week, tonight and tomorrow night, and we're going to make them count because there's lots of stuff coming up here that we'll get into, but it is great to be back. Did you have a good weekend? Now, you were going to try... I was at the Door County Film Festival last weekend, in beautiful Fish Creek, a phenomenal film festival, lots of fun. You were toying with the idea of going.
I wanted to. I was just exhausted after a really long week, and I stayed home. I watched some movies at home, probably not as good as what I would have seen there, but it was still fun.
Well, you were missed. It was a fun time, and I'll give some details on that as well. We've got a lot to get to tonight. There's a weird video we're going to talk about with Kid Rock and Robert Kennedy that needs to be discussed. I don't know what the hell is going on. And we both saw a movie that we're going to discuss, Iron Lung. We'll get to that as well. I saw an excellent movie at the Door County Film Festival called The Librarians, about these kind of badass librarians that stand up to people trying to take books off the shelves. So that was a really fascinating documentary. And it started out, the trip was not great, Zommers. I'm going to tell you why. So without naming names, there's a hotel in Door County I really like, okay? And we've stayed there before. It's got all these great amenities. It's got this beautiful view of the water. It's just a stunning place. Well, there's another hotel right down the street from that hotel that looks very similar and has a similar sounding name that the guy with 2 thumbs booked by accident. And it was the same money. And we get there and we check in. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I was so busy the last couple weeks. I just click buy whatever, or book whatever. And we got there and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I literally could have canceled it 2 weeks up until we checked in and gone to the other place, but I just didn't even, I completely spaced. And my wife is like, all right, well, what do we do? So I had some work to do Thursday night when we got there. And she said, I'll go to the workout room. I said, okay. They don't have a workout room.
Oh.
So then I had to print up a speech that I was giving at the Door County Film Festival. And I said, hey, can I have access to your business center? I need to print something. We don't have a business center. Oh, okay. And then we tried to hit the hot tub when we got there that night. It closes in 15 minutes at 8:30. Who closes a jacuzzi at 8:30? And it was great because there was nobody in the hotel yet. Exactly. So, and then like the checkout time was at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like everything that could have gone wrong regarding the hotel went wrong. But here's classic Schwaba. So the venue for the Door County Film Festival was the Northern Star Theater. Beautiful venue, outdoor theater, right kind of on the water. And that's where I went. And then I realized as I got there, there's nothing. Like, I would have had to pull through a snow-covered road to get there, and I can barely see it. I'm like, maybe there's a different entrance, whatever. Long story, even longer. We got the venue wrong. And when we say we, I mean I. There's another venue called the Northern Sky Gould Theater in Fish Creek. So we had to go all the way back into town, through town to that. Luckily, I left enough time, and there was plenty of time. But man, I don't know what was going on. I just had my head, like, maybe it was weird taking a Thursday night off. I can't remember the last time I took a Thursday night off. I don't know what it was.
Well, you know, I think the universe was conspiring against you to stop you from going to the film festival, and you did anyway, so you won, really.
I won, and it was a really great shout out to Kurt Krause and Chris Opper and Antonio Polk. They ran a great festival, and it was a lot of fun. And my son had a film playing. He won a couple of awards. That was exciting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was fun to see. And then the opening night film was a movie called The Librarians, which was very well regarded, and it played at, I think it opened or premiered on POV on PBS Wisconsin just a few nights before, and one of the producers was there. We'll probably get her on Nite Lite at some point, but she had great stories about making this film and kind of keeping free speech going and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really fun, great parties. You know, Door County is just such a special place as far as I'm concerned. It was a lot of fun. We've got lots to get, though. Did you see that video, Zomer? I shared that with you, the link of Robert Kennedy. This is the Health and Human Services Secretary working out with Kid Rock to promote health.
Unfortunately, I have seen it.
It was like the two of them got stoned and just said, let's make a video. Like, they're promoting working out and like they're buddies, and that's fine. I get it. But there was like zero production value. Like, Kennedy's in his jeans and nothing else. And there were all kinds of porn jokes all over the internet about the two of them.
That's what it looked like.
It was really strange.
It's just two guys going around with, no thought put into what it looks like. RFK Jr. in just his jeans, like you said. Kid Rock in various stages of undress, flipping off the camera most of the time.
What are you, 12? Flipping off the camera? That's your rebel side? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, especially when you've just demonstrated you can't actually sing your one song a week ago at the Super Bowl alternative halftime show.
Okay, to his credit, to play devil's advocate, maybe Kid Rock realized he was out of breath during the 4-minute performance and needed to get back in shape. So he called his pal, Robert Kennedy Jr., Health and Human Services Secretary, and he said, you got to help me get in shape. So they put a 1.5-minute video together, and I'm not even kidding, like, Kennedy is wearing jeans, and he gets into a cold bath, and then he jumps in the pool in his jeans. It's like, it's just this weird, no thought put into it video, and he is on roids to the bejesus. He's like 70, 72?
Yeah,
and
he's always... Yeah. He's freely admitted to using steroids. And so maybe that was the trick that he used to help Kid Rock be able to catch his breath again. I don't know.
Very possibly. But it's so... I feel like when you've had an enhancement of any kind and you walk around like, aren't I special? It's like, well, nice purchase, I guess. It's not like you got there on your own. Whether it's calf implants, boobs... roids, I don't know. I just don't get the pride.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't either.
Full disclosure, my sideburns are fake. I paid for them.
Okay.
So I'm not perfect. But this video it's definitely worth a look. It's really just kind of bizarre. And if they put it out there like as a, hey, we got nutty Friday night and made this goofy video, that I would have watched it going into it thinking that, like, oh, those guys are goofy and that's fun. But this is like, hey, Mr. Health and Human Services Secretary, let's get in shape.
Yeah, they were pitching it as, we all need to work out and eat real food. There's no food in the video, and there's no story to the workout. It's just like someone with a camera walks in a room, you see Kid Rock sitting there in just a towel flipping off the camera, and RFK Jr. walks over to the other side of the sauna. You go to the next one. They're hitting the ball back and forth on the tennis field. You go to the next one. RFK Jr. is in his jeans, lowering himself into the water, with his arms spread apart because his muscles are too big to put his arms down.
Right. And it was just, and the flip off, I'm so done with that. Like, okay, you flipped off the camera, you're a rebel, I get it. And that song, that might be the only, I just think Kid Rock is a hack. And some people, when I go after him, they're like, oh, it's not, he's a hack. I don't like him. I don't like his artistry or his music. And that might be one of the few songs he didn't lift from someone else and get sued for.
Right. And he's been coasting on that since it came out.
Ridiculous. Hey, I think it's time, folks. Without further ado, we had a celebrity death over the weekend, and one of the greatest actors of all time passed away. And that leads us to tonight's Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
Well, as we all have heard by now, I'm sure, and if you haven't heard, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but phenomenal, legendary actor Robert Duvall passed away, I believe, on Monday, which leads us into tonight's question. What is your favorite Robert Duvall movie? This is one of the true titans of Hollywood. A guy, and from a different age, Zommers. Like, I love the guys like Hackman or Duvall that are just the everymen. You know, they don't look like the pinup actors of today. They were balding. They look like regular dudes, and they carried films truly based on their talent. Like handsome guys, but you don't see a lot of those type of actors anymore opening movies as lead actors.
You really
and he
don't.
was one of the best. No, you don't. And he was one of the best. I just think he was 95 years old, and he had a very kind of a wide array of credits on his resume. He did very different stuff throughout the course of his career. He was in The Godfather, The Apostle, The Great Santini. He played Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird. And I remember the first time I saw him in that, and I said, I was probably in my 30s when I noticed who it was, and I said, he looks kind of like a young Robert Duvall, and sure enough, it was. And he had no lines. That was his first movie role. Came up, learned how to act on the stage. Brilliant, brilliant career. And he will be missed, and never officially retired. Like Gene Hackman retired about 20 years ago and just kind of disappeared. But Duvall, I'm not saying he worked. I think his last credit was maybe 2022 or 2023. But love the craft, and by all accounts, it was just a great actor. In tribute to him, I watched a movie last night called The Outfit that he was in with Joe Don Baker and Karen Black, I think. Anyway, just a different time for movies, the early 70s, but kind of a cool film. He just played a guy who just got out of prison, wants to go even the score. Fun movie, and one of his many films I haven't seen. Like, he's got such a long body of work. Anyway, let us know what your favorite Robert Duvall film is. This could be fun to talk about tonight. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. What is your favorite Robert Duvall movie? May he rest in peace. Zommers, you got one?
I have to come clean about something, Pete. I've only seen one Robert Duvall movie.
I just don't even believe you.
Only one. And it's one that he has uncredited random background role in. The remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers from, what year was that? The one from the 70s, I think?
Yeah, with Donald
That's
Sutherland.
It. Yep, that's the one. That's the only movie I've seen that he's in, and he's just in a random background shot because he happened to be walking by the set.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I haven't even seen The Godfather, nothing like that.
Oh, wow, no kidding. Well, I appreciate your honesty, and there's no judgment. I mean, look, there's so much content out there. You can't possibly see everything, but so that's an acceptable answer. Well done. I'm going to say The Great Santini, just because he was such a hard guy. And we'll talk more about all of this, and I'm going to tell you who tonight's guests are, folks. We have outstanding guests tonight. There's going to be some great conversations, some great chat. Aaron and I are going to talk about Iron Lung as well. Very bizarre movie. We'll do all of that next. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Don't worry, it's not Kid Rock. This is the original.
Hard to tell.
WMDX Madison, where the cheese is sharp and the vibes are chill.
Judge Chris Taylor has spent her career protecting the rights and freedoms of Wisconsinites. She brought Democrats and Republicans together to give law enforcement the tools they need to
All
protect
right, we've
victims'
got
privacy.
Ollie in the Northwoods on the
She's
line
been
with
a
her favorite
tireless
Robert Duvall
advocate
movie.
for
Oh,
domestic
perfect.
violence survivors,
Also,
working to make
Tony
sure
watching on
victims
YouTube
have
says
access
there is
to
some
emergency
judgment. No, that's fair. That's
contraception
fair.
in every hospital in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Throughout her career, Judge Taylor has
These are
fought to
movies I
make
need to
sure
watch.
women
You know,
can
the
make their
Godfather
own
movies.
personal healthcare decisions.
I
And
really want to
Judge
watch
Chris Taylor
THX
is
1138.
serious about safety.
Well, I'm just saying,
She's held
I don't
people
judge that you
accountable
haven't
for their
seen them
actions,
yet.
upheld our
And I know
laws,
that you're a guy that
protected our
likes to
rights.
watch good
Judge
stuff, and
Taylor
I
doesn't
assume you'll
put her
eventually
thumb
get
on
to
this
it. I mean,
one.
there's.
In her
I watched a movie last night I
everyone
hadn't
gets
seen
a
of his.
fair
You know.
shake.
Right,
And she's
right.
never once had a ruling overturned. Call Judge Chris Taylor at 608-266-9360. Tell her thank you for standing up for us. Paid for by A Better Wisconsin Together, Incorporated.
At Chance Design Build, we provide remodeling done well with love. Our commitments extend beyond our workplace and your home to support our community. We judge people by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin, and we believe all humans deserve quality, publicly funded education, childcare, and health care. But what do you believe in? At Chance Design Build, we believe every person must have the opportunity to thrive. If you're thinking about remodeling your home, go to chancedesignbuild.com to learn more about our commitments to you, your home, and our community.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio. On our show, we share stories from Turtle Island, highlighting the people and issues shaping our communities. From protecting water to treaty rights and preserving languages and traditions, we cover it all. Hear voices like Arvina Martin of Emerge Wisconsin, Dr. Stately, Robert Lilligren, and more. Because Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Native Roots Radio.
Is that a Kid Rock? Did Kid Rock sample that, or?
He might have. I don't know.
Okay. Probably. It didn't pay. Hey, welcome back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. That is the voice of Aaron Zommers, who is producing tonight's show. That is not Aaron Zommers or Kid Rock's music. That is from The Godfather, which is one of Robert Duvall's many outstanding classics. And that is our question of the night, folks. What is your favorite Robert Duvall film? He passed away just a couple days ago, and we are talking about his legacy a little bit. Another great one, one he won an Oscar for, is Tender Mercies from 1983. Great film, and kind of the opposite of like a Godfather type film. Like his resume is so great, and I love that Tony Zimmerman called you out. Somerson says there is some judgment. A little bit, Tony, but I'm saying like he's got time to get to them, right? We can give Zommers some time here to check out all these classics. So thank you for the text, though, buddy. All right, let's get to our guests tonight, folks. We have great guests. Andy Wassman is here at 5:35, just after the news. He will be here to discuss a really fun event called the Nina Run Iced Beer Mile Race. I think it's a race. Let's pull this up here. I had this right in front of me, and now I've lost it, Mr. Aaron Zommers. But it's a great event they have in Menominee Park by Lake Winnebago, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the Beer Mile. You have to drink while you race, and Andy will be here at 5:35 to talk about this really cool event. And then we've got Alan Kopishke, professor of theater from UWGB, here at 6:10 to talk about some really cool stuff and a great production he has coming up in the next few weeks at UWGB. And then our pal, Dr. Kristen Lyerly, is going to be on. She will be dispensing great healthy advice, as well as some probably giving me a hard time about various topics, which is fine. She's teased me about an array of topics. I don't know if you remember this, Zommers. She talked about lube.
I do remember very well, actually.
Yeah, she's an OBGYN. I said, oh, is that necessary for giving birth? Because she was at a convention for OBGYNs, and she says, no, that's for sex. And then she laughed, and Conrad laughed, and I was like, oh, okay. So she likes to tease, and it's great. Love when Kristen is here. We'll have a lot of fun, as usual. And then, this is fun. Steve Gillespie is here tonight, a very funny comedian. He's been on Conan. He's had best-selling comedy albums. He's on the show tonight at 7:20, talking about a very different, very cool show he's got coming to Wisconsin. It's I don't even know if I should say what this is, but it's called the Dose Psychedelic Comedy Show. And I'm just going to leave it at that. It's production heavy. Steve has put a lot of effort into this. It sells out all around the country, and it sounds like a blast, and there might be chemicals involved. I'm not sure. But you're going to want to hear that because Steve is a good guy and a very funny comic. But right now, let's jump to the phones because I know our pal Ollie from the North Woods is on the line.
Hi.
Hello, Ollie. How's it going tonight? Good, very well.
Going good here.
Good.
My favorite Robert Duvall movie is kind of a newer one, where he's an older. It's Secondhand Lions, where Robert Duvall and Michael Caine play two brothers, and they take in their nephew, who is played by Haley Joel Osment.
Yes.
I don't know if very many people have watched that, but it's a wonderful movie, and the two guys are just awesome in it.
Well,
everybody's awesome in it.
You cannot beat that cast, right?
Yeah, and they tell a tale of adventures in their lives to this young boy who is just imagining the stories and doesn't know whether to believe them or not.
Right.
So the ending is great, and everybody should see it at least once.
I totally
I've seen it
agree.
several times.
No, that's a great choice, Ollie. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Thanks for the call.
You good guys too. Bye-bye.
All right, that's Ollie from the Northwoods who says Secondhand Lions from 2003.
And you know what?
Fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes at 60%. Audience score 84%. So she's right on the ball there.
I just looked it up, and seeing a clip from this, I think I have actually seen this one. So, all right, I've seen one real Robert Duvall movie, and one that he just happens to be there for.
I would recommend The Great Santini. It's just a great role for him. He's not a very likable guy, but it's just a hard-nosed military dad. And Michael O'Keefe is very good in it, too. Blythe Danner, Gwyneth Paltrow's mom is in it. Very solid film, but he's great in everything. Hey, before the break, Zombers, we got to talk about this Iron Lung film. Shot for like $3 million, made like 20 million bucks in its opening weekend. It's based on a video game, and it stars a YouTuber who got it made. I have to say I was lost during Iron Lung.
Yeah, that's totally, I mean, this is exactly what you said somebody told you in the theater. That's totally fair. It is a confusing movie. Because the video game it's based off of, basically you've got a guy who's slowly going insane in a submarine who can only rely on, weird sensors and his his hearing. I don't know where I got smell from. And it's not supposed to entirely make sense, but I do think that they might have gone a little bit too far with that.
Here's my issue with it, too. You're right. The guy's in a submarine. The planets are gone. This is like a blood ocean. It's dystopian, all that stuff. But he basically talks to himself, which characters who talk to themselves rarely work for me in movies. And there are other characters, but he's by himself, and he's in this thing. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes long of no cinematography other than a dark vessel with blood splashing against the window sometimes. Nothing really scary happens. And it's just,
not really.
It's just kind of dull. It's like cinematically there's nothing. The dialogue's not great. His acting is kind of one note. He's always frantic for 2 hours and 10 minutes, but then he'll go 10 minutes without saying anything.
Yeah, I think it was interesting to watch. I'm glad he made it. I think it shows that, there is something to the concept, and he has, there's something that he's got that I think he could do really good work with in the future, but I don't need to watch it again.
Tip of my hat, the thing crushed. So good for him. Hey, we're coming right back after news, sports, and weathers to talk about a really cool beer run. That's next on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
.7 WMDX in Mad City. More lakes, more cheese, more fun.
This report brought to you by Downdren's Distilling.
All right. Looks like our guest is here.
I'm going to email Steve Gillespie real quick.
All right. Andy, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Excellent.
Hey, Andy. How's it going?
Great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, this is a blast. Thanks for being on the show. Just so I have your last name, it's Wassman?
You got her.
Okay, perfect. And the official title of the race, because there's times where Run is next to Nina, and then I see it in the other place. How should I introduce the event?
Yeah, so it's just a small, and I'll explain, but it's just a small run group in the Nina area, and it's Run Nina. group run is what we go with. Yep.
Okay. Run Nina iced beer mile race.
Yeah, it's kind of morphed over the last couple of weeks, but it's technically the Winnebago beer mile.
Okay.
But we can do ice beer mile. I like it.
Okay. Awesome. All right. It'll be fun. If there's anything else you want me to mention to you, let me know.
Okay.
All right. We will be back in just over 3 minutes here.
Sounds good.
Efforts to cut taxes will result in more than $2 billion in tax relief annually.
Wisconsin is as purple as ever, but we've shown we can put politics aside and work together to get good things done. Compared to all the chaos, dysfunction, and recklessness in Washington, D.C., here in Wisconsin, we've worked to lead by example. And a big part of that is the fact that today lawmakers are elected under fair maps I signed into law.
Evers announced he's calling a special session of the legislature this spring to take up a constitutional amendment to ban partisan gerrymandering in Wisconsin. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. There are lots of high points over the course of the last 30 or so years of Ben Stiller's career. According to the There's Something About Mary star, working with David Bowie was the absolute highlight of his career. The two collaborated on Zoolander, on which Bowie had a cameo as himself. The Heroes singer played the judge of a runway walk-off between Stiller's character and Owen Wilson's character. Stiller says to this day he cannot believe that Bowie agreed to do it and was thrilled to learn that he actually had a great sense of humor. That might be worth a rewatch, or you can keep waiting for more Meet the Parents flicks. Focker-in-Law is set to hit theaters November 26th of this year. Although David Bowie, who passed away in 2016, is no longer available for a cameo, they did add fresh blood to the cast in Ariana Grande. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nite Lite with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 5 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This report brought to you by Sugar River Pizza, your catering expert. Host your party in their gorgeous Sun Prairie location or a venue of your choice. SugarRiverPizza.com.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight with a few rain and snow showers, the wind gradually settling down. A low in the upper 20s to 30. And more sunshine than clouds for tomorrow, and mild. A high in the upper 40s. Rain to snow Thursday night and Friday with accumulations. It's 55 right now.
Civic Media Mornings.
Multiple monkeys spotted running around the city have now been joined by a wandering goat. Where the hell did the goat come from?
Well, it's jailbreak time. You've got to get tired of running around all the time, so
Yeah,
you
you
need
gotta
something to
ride
ride.
something.
That's when Planet of the Apes stops being funny and starts being real. An army of monkeys riding an army of goats.
Jamie Martinson and Brian Noonan at your local Civic Media station. Weekdays, 6 to 8.
Would you like to contact Congress and let them know your views about issues that are important to you? Leave a message for your U.S. representative or your senator by calling the Capitol Switchboard at 202-224-3121. Phone lines are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Standard phone rates may apply. To send an email, go to senate.gov or house.gov for more information. A public service message.
B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. All we need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run.
I'm pretty sure that's not Kid Rock either. Great find, Sommers. Welcome back to Nite Lite. I am Pete Schwaba. Great to have you here, folks, on this Wednesday night that feels like a Monday night, but is actually more like a Thursday night because of our crazy schedule this week. So it's great to have you here wherever you're joining us from across the state of Wisconsin, or if you're with us on the app or the stream, kudos to you for being part of the show, because that's when it's always more fun. Aaron Zomers is producing tonight's show. Stacy Sue on the stream says she loved the Godfather movies when it comes to Robert Duvall's career. Those are it's hard to disagree. That's about the safest pick you can make, as well as Tender Mercies because he won an Oscar for that. But all kinds of great stuff. That is our question of the night, folks. What is your favorite Robert Duvall movie? He passed away a couple days ago. And you can let us know on the text line at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, or text us on the Civic Media app, which you should have because it's so easy to use. It's just downright fun. Or if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter X, you can drop us a stream comment like Stacy Sue just did. All right, we are going to turn our attention. One of my favorite things to talk about are cool events happening around the state because as Wisconsinites, we certainly have our share of them. There are all kinds of fun activities throughout the course of the year, and this one ranks right up there based on what I've read. It is my pleasure to welcome the event director for the first annual Run Nina Iced Beer Mile, Mr. Andy Wassman. Hey, Andy, how are you?
Excellent, Pete. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. You got a deep voice, dude. Are people intimidated when they talk to you? I know I am.
I think so. A little taller, so it's a big package there to deal with, I guess, right?
They run faster when you're around because they hear your voice. Hey, welcome to the show. It's great to have you. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. Ready to explain and describe our event.
All right. Well, before we get to that, I assume you're a movie fan or TV show fan, as most people like some form of movies. Are you familiar with Robert Duvall, and do you have a favorite Robert Duvall movie?
You know, I didn't realize there was the AI generated flashbacks on his career. I didn't realize that he was honestly in The Godfather.
Oh wow!
You know, when I put two and two together,
sure,
I would say definitely Godfather, 100%.
Can't go wrong with that. That's a great answer. Well, it's great to have you here. So let's jump in. I love that this is your first annual event, or you may have had other derivations of it or whatever. But regardless, tell us about Run Nina and this Iced Beer Mile event. It sounds like an absolute blast.
Yeah. So we have a little group, about 20 people that run every Thursday from varying locations around Nina, every Thursday at 6 year round. And
nice.
Every year we've been around for about 3 or 4 years. And every year it seems like we get the next young kid or young person that comes in and says, you know what, we should do a beer mile. And then after year 3, it gets to the point of, this is getting to be a common occurrence here. So we really put pen to paper and kind of plan this. Still things to learn after the first. And it kind of was a big collaboration with, again, like I said, past members, and then a member that was out Western Wisconsin that would do a snowshoe beer mile on land around a bar.
Oh my gosh.
And, that was our whole deal here is, a school track is probably frowned upon.
Right.
City
certainly
streets,
during school hours. Yeah.
Right. City streets, same thing. We could go in, other private areas, but then your distance for a circular track kind of get limited for like an out and back or something that way. It's just not as fun. So this year, Pierce in our group, actually, another young kid this year here, he suggested, hey, let's get this going. What about on the lake? And I thought, that's kind of a neutral territory, so to speak. And then we got to thinking and planning, figured we'd go right offshore and yeah, that's where it sits.
It's such a great, it sounds like so much fun. Is it in Oshkosh though, Andy?
It is. So the tough part is, by us in Nina, we have a very nice park that we run from Lionsdale Brewing quite often. That's one of our Thursday runs. Beautiful park. There's certainly access there. But if you know anything about Lake Winnebago, that's pretty much where everything from Poygan flows north and then dumps into and starts the Fox River. So there's a little bit of I don't want to say current, but the ice isn't as good up that way.
Oh.
Not that we take up a big stretch, but to keep people away from that area, we all kind of figured let's go south. And then also, honestly, the location was kind of more directed because I know Carl was on your show. Carl was Sturgeon Spirits just recently.
Yeah.
And I thought that'd be neat to have it, kind of partner with his event, this being the second weekend. And then again, just the ice was a little bit more consistent up until this weather, but a little bit more consistent down in those parts.
Here's what I love about this event, okay, and what I read it. At a time in our nation's history where people are drinking less, even here in Wisconsin, you are leaning into drinking while running. The race starts, you have to chug a beer. Drinking rules: 1 beer before the race starts. After each lap, you must stop at the drinking area, chug 1 full beer, hold the empty can upside down to prove it is finished, and you consume a total of 4 beers. Can people do it without drinking, or is that totally frowned upon?
It's not allowed, actually, this year. So as this evolves, we're thinking about doing a relay. So that's another idea. So that one guy brought that up. So you have one person that just is responsible for a beer. So it's a 4-person team. They do their beer, they run, and then hand off the empty can, throw it down to the ground. The next person throws it down to the ground or something like that. They have to chug theirs and off they go. We thought about an NA division, to your point. But, as of course, if things get kind of closer, then you get the ideas and suggestions. And my response is always, well, there's always year 2,
It said, I think I read in here somewhere, oh yeah, light beer is not, in all caps, allowed. It's got to be 4.5% or greater, and any style of beer is accepted. Cans only. How did you settle on that? Just easier to recycle or clean up, or what?
Well, that's the biggest thing on lakes. We're going to be, if I guess the lake traffic allows it, meaning there aren't going to be a whole bunch of vehicles parked where we're planning to have this course. There is a beach there in the summertime.
Yeah.
So just, breaking glass, things that we're just trying to be stewards of the area. Yeah.
Well done. My guest is Andy Wassman. He is the event director of this really cool event sponsored by Run Nina, the Iced Beer Mile Run that takes place at the southern, in Oshkosh, actually, near Lake Winnebago. So here's another great rule, I thought, Andy. There is a penalty. If you puke at any time, you must complete 1 full penalty lap. Do people puke? It's not a ton of beer to take in, but it's in a short time, and you are running, and it's cold. What are the ratios there with vomiting?
Well, every race is different. I just compare it to if you're a NASCAR fan, what does the winner do? He takes the champagne bottle and shakes it up and sprays it all over. So yes, there definitely is, a strategy to those veterans. So we do have some people coming from the Eau Claire area as part of that snowshoe beer mile. So I think my mind's going to be blown at the vets or the elites. They're going to be participating. But certainly there's going to be some releases, some pukes. I'm going to be bringing the garbage bags for everything. And I thought, I'm not going to bring any actual barrels. I'm just going to let all the empties, sit on the ice. I'll pick them up after, or we'll pick them up as a group. As soon as you have barrels, that's where the pukers go, So I thought, we'll pick up as we go at the end.
All right. I appreciate your honesty here. All right, so 4 laps are run, 4 beers have to be consumed. There is a penalty for puking. Are there records? Do you keep track? This is the first, but will you keep track of records or best times? And tell us a little bit about the prizes too.
100%. So obviously the first year, you have all kinds of different ideas that are just rolling around your head. I thought about doing age groups. If this starts to get huge, do age groups. And, because people don't want to admit their age, maybe we fill out how many beer cans you are. So or how full the beer can is. So if you're 21 to, 21 to 30, you're 3/4 of a beer can. And then you write that in on registration. If you're 30 to 50 or whatever that age, then it's half of a beer can. And if you're 50 plus, you have 1/4 beer can, to signify that age group. So thought about that, like I said, about different categories, different age groups. That keeping track of times. It certainly could evolve. Repeat winners, bullseyes on back, for the winner from last year.
Right.
It's wild. It definitely can get wild.
So is it going to be the type of situation where you said you have age groups, like a teenager can participate if their parents are there, like when they're allowed in bars or something like that, or?
Well, it's funny. I have a friend of mine that has probably two, like I think they're an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they said, "Can Grant participate in this?" I said, "Well, it's not that kind of group. We can maybe get that. Well, he just wants to run around." And then, like you had mentioned before, well, I don't know if this is going to be the surface that you're going to want to run around on.
Don't slip in the puke, kid. Okay, so what are the prizes, Andy? And pardon me, can anybody enter? Like, if people are listening right now and they're like, "I want to go do this," how do they find out more info, and can they?
Yeah, and so more info is going to be that we have an event on I created a public event on our Facebook page. It's Run Nina group run. If you search it on Facebook, it should pop up. Unfortunately, we're a private group because you get all kinds of spam otherwise. So you just request, say what the weather was like yesterday. That's our security, I guess, question. We get you in there, but the event, I guess, in general is public. At the time of start, we're going to have a simple waiver. I'm too pretty to be in jail, so not that it would get to that point.
Oh, that voice will keep you safe, buddy. That deep voice you're going to be fine.
But we'll have a QR code that people can scan just to initial and by all means, the more the merrier. If we get a surplus of people, we might do 2 different waves, or I don't know that yet, but right now I think there's about 15 people that are going to be attending, but who knows? There's like 70 some that are interested. So who knows what we're gonna do? Yeah,
I love it. So I think what we need to do now, Andy, is get Carl involved. Carl, and he could do spirits, like chug a bottle of vodka and run even farther. Let's make it a puke fest. Let's see how many pukers we have.
I agree. That again, I saw his event, his mobile bar out on the ice last weekend, and again this weekend, and that's what really got me thinking about doing it out in Oshkosh in that location. But they're a mile out, as he mentioned on his event, or on his podcast or video here. I don't want to, if people aren't comfortable with that, so we're literally going to be about 50 yards offshore. And then to answer your question, prizes, we have some really cool laser engraved slate coasters for first, second, and third.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Well, Andy, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I wish you luck with the event. Put plastic baggies over your shoes just in case you don't want to hit by errant vomit or whatever. But no, seriously, come back again the next time you do this. I hope you have many more of these, and best of luck with the event.
Good deal. Thank you very much.
All right. That's Andy Wassman. Check out the Run Nina Iced Mile Beer Run. So much fun. We are coming right back, folks, and I'm going to tell you about the best capitals in America to live in. That's coming up next on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Allure Intimate Apparel redefines what it means to feel confident.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate it.
Lots of fun. Come back next year too, and let us know how it's going. It's just a fun event. Love talking about this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you guys phoned us, and I'll try to remember to reach out for sure.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Visit allurefits.com. That's allurefits.com.
Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Join me, Tom Hartman, each and every weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Tom Hartman program right here on Civic Media. I talk about the issues that all Wisconsinites can get behind, from unrigging our economy so it works for all of us, not just the billionaire class, to improving our representative government, to delivering on the promise of we the people. Tune in middays right here on your local Civic Media station from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Tom Hartman program. Tag, you're it.
Civic Media Mornings.
Drama in this year's Olympics.
I am in. Why? Because I'm using it as a distraction from the fresh hell that happens here every day. An umpire accused another Canadian breaking the rules by touching the rock again after initially releasing it. They've been humiliated on the world stage. The Canadians saying the friendship and the values of respect have been decimated.
Ooh. Jamie Martinson and Brian Noonan on your local Civic Media station. Weekdays 6 to 8.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey.
Another Kid Rock song. Somers is finding them all tonight.
Spreading the news.
The only person I listen to anymore, really.
I'm leaving
Kid Rock or Sinatra?
Today.
Both. I don't know.
I want
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite. I'm Pete Schwaba. Great to have you here, folks, on this Wednesday night. It really feels like a Monday and also feels like a Thursday, thanks to scheduling issues. So, I'm glad you're here. We are talking about the life and the body of work of Robert Duvall, who passed away the other day at the age of 95 and left behind such an incredible body of work. Matt Harper, rock rap artist from Green Bay, answered the question on social media. He said colors. And that's the sign of a great artist, too, or someone who's just a titan like Robert Duvall is, because I was thinking of his movies. I forgot about Colors. I saw that in the theater when it first came out, and he and Sean Penn were great. That's a phenomenal movie. Daniel Fine on social media says, so many good ones, but some of them are ones he had really small parts. The Great Santini, he had a big part in that. To Kill a Mockingbird, Sling Blade, The Godfather 1 and 2, Falling Down, The Natural, True Grit, Jack Reacher, forgot about Jack Reacher too, The Judge, and Apocalypse Now. Great list, Dan, thank you. JB Thompson, the guy behind the guy. Saw JB this last weekend at the Door County Film Festival. Good to hang. He says Falling Down. Well, you got a lot of movies to catch up on here.
I do, including Robert Duvall as Joseph Stalin in the made-for-TV movie Stalin, about Joseph Stalin.
What? So you're saying it's Joseph Stalin. I forgot about that. I don't even know if I knew that. That was a made-for-TV movie like in the 90s maybe, or 80s?
Yep, 92.
I don't think, do they do movies like that anymore? That's crazy.
I feel like Netflix movies are what has replaced it,
Yes.
and those have become much bigger budget than those TV movies ever were.
Well said. Tony on social media, Tony Diamond says, there are so many, but I'm always drawn back to Network. Again, I forgot he was in that. A classic. Ross Bigley says The Outfit, which I just watched last night. Thank you, Ross. Yeah, that was a great, that was a really fun watch. I love watching movies how they used to make them, where everything isn't like, the stakes aren't so crazy high, and it takes their time. There's no high concept thing happening. It's just a story being told. And that's kind of what's taking place, or what took place when I watched The Outfit last night. Charles Krause on social media says, there are many. The most recent and funny movie that I've seen is Secondhand Lions. So there you go. Maybe a love connection between Ollie from the North Woods and Charles?
Maybe. Who's to say?
We've probably gotten people together on this show over the last couple of years. George Chemers says To Kill a Mockingbird. Great one, George. And he He didn't have a line, but he was great. He looked so tortured and troubled as Boo Radley. It's a great choice. Daniel Wheeler, Danny Wheel says, I'm going deep cut. Buck Weston and kicking and screaming, but he's got balls. Well said, Daniel. Daniel will be on the show tomorrow night. Sean Boyce on social media says, I am the Great Santini. Sean is a Marine. That could be what he's referring to, having a little fun with the title. He says, excellent film adapted from Pat Conroy, the Pat Conroy novel based on his own upbringing in the home of Colonel Don Conroy. I did not know that. Thank you, Sean. And a really good movie. Actually, there's some laughs in there, too, because the Great Santini is a character. Kind of racist, kind of old school, kind of old-fashioned, just a tough-as-nails dad. His kids hate him. It's a great watch. Rich Lacasio, our favorite wrestling announcer, says THX 1138.
And that's one that I really want to watch. It's a George Lucas movie. I believe the first one he directed.
Okay. I thought maybe Rich was dropping in a wrestling event there. We didn't. We got a call?
Yep, we have Mike from Muscadet.
Mike from Muscadet. That's how you say it. Hey, Mike, how are you?
How's it going, Pete? You guys, I think True Grit was a good Robert Duvall movie.
Yeah.
And he was in another movie with, what was his name? Oh, gosh, he's been in so many, like you guys say. But, getting back to Kid Rock, let me ask you something, Pete. How many albums have you put out? So don't put down my man.
I'll tell you this. I haven't put out any albums, but if I do, it will be my own material, Mike. Is that a good answer? Did we lose Mike?
Yeah, well.
Oh, there he is. Are you a fan, Mike? A true Kid Rock fan?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and give her. I like Kid Rock, and don't put him down. You guys have a good one.
You too, Mike. You too. Appreciate the call. I respect that he likes Kid Rock, but I'm still going to put him down. And all I'll say, Mike, is watch the workout video with Robert Kennedy. And listen, there have been a couple tunes Kid Rock has had over the years where I've tapped my foot to. I remember being on a movie set. He's not untalented. Apparently, he's a really good musician. I just don't like his songs.
Which is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. But that's a great movie choice. Thank you, Mike. Matt Cassane on social media says, True Confessions. Thank you, Matt. Derek Pfister says, Days of Thunder. Again, Tom Cruise. Forgot he was even in that movie. Ian MacArthur on social media says, The Great Tender Santini Mercy's Apostle. He's got them all rolled into one there. But he did win an Oscar for 1983's Tender Mercies. Thank you, Ian. Richard Vargas says a tie. The Great Santini and The Apostle. I've seen The Apostle. I was kind of falling asleep in a hotel room one night, so I can't even weigh in on that. I have to give that a rewatch. But thank you, Richard. Jay Campbell says, that is so hard to narrow down because he was prolific and deep. I'm partial to Tender Mercies and The Apostle. I intend to rewatch both of them soon. Check out Get Low, too. That was kind of a fun one. And then Bill on social media says, Open Range. Thank you all. Keep those coming. We'll get to the text line stuff in just a bit. Oh, we got Kristen Lyerly coming up in the next hour, folks. Lots of fun. What's your favorite Robert De Niro movie? That's what we're talking about. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Or Robert Duvall.
What did I say?
Robert De Niro.
Share them all.
WMDX Columbus, Madison's real news and great conversation. A Civic Media station. WMDXradio.com.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Northern California, 8 backcountry skiers are dead. 1 is still missing. Following yesterday's avalanche in deep, rugged terrain not far from Donner's Pass, it marks the deadliest ski-related avalanche in U.S. history.
My microphone being on could be helpful if I try to talk to you. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Good to see you.
You as well. Pete should be back shortly.
Okay.
But it seems like you can hear me fine. We can hear you.
Good.
So we should be good to go. So yes, he'll be back in a minute, and then you guys can check in on anything you need to cover. So
Okay. Is captioning I put in okay?
Yep, that looks good.
Okay.
Passenger Amber Ward telling ABC station
And then I'll use that for your title in the podcast description as well.
Okay.
Started snatching up this one guy in the window seat. He was yanking him by his shirt, his hair, and it took like 8 guys on the plane to get him off of that guy. And they had to sit on him, and we had to turn the plane around and go back to Houston.
According to audio from Broadcastify, the passenger tried to access the cockpit. In a statement, though, Delta says the unruly passenger did not try to get into the cockpit. Another round of heavy rain and snow in the forecast, continuing to hammer much of the West Coast, along with inland areas of Nevada. High wind alerts are also on tap, and that's raising the fire danger in parts of the South and also the Midwest and Lower Plains. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This report brought to you by Chance Design Build, a full-service residential remodeler providing thoughtful, sustainable, and well-built spaces since 1992. ChanceDesignBuild.com.
Hey there, Wisconsin. Tom Hartman here. Democracy is not a spectator sport, so join me each and every weekday right here on Civic Media for the Tom Hartman program from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Covering the news of the day and sharing ways for you to get off the sidelines and get active in your community, because change starts with you. Get involved and tune in to the Tom Hartman program Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on your local Civic Media radio station.
Where working people come to talk. It's The Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network. Join me for an honest approach to the issues American working families care about. No talking points, no focus groups. Get ready for a heavy dose of democracy, fairness, grit, and no apologies. It's current affairs from a working class labor perspective. Facts are center, science is real, and everyone gets a seat at the table. The Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The Packers' Rich Bisaccia resigns. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NFL. After 4 seasons,
Pete, if you need to talk with Alan at all, he is here.
Oh, okay. Hey, Alan, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Pete?
Doing great. Thanks. Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Always. We will talk about constellations. Looking forward to it. Yeah, we'll do like 10 minutes. Does that work?
Sure. Yeah, whatever works for you.
That dance number you did, probably we won't have time for that, but we'll get to definitely all the next time. Come on, we got to space this out. You know.
And I got the tassels and the glitter going on, and
appreciate the effort. All right, we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Okay,
2 minutes.
Scheduled to compete for his third gold medal tomorrow morning in the men's 1500 meter race at the Winter Olympics in Milan. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
This report brought to you by Serenity Pet Spa, with award-winning dog grooming where every pup is treated with love, care, and patience. 3 locations around Madison. SerenityPetSpaMadison.com.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Mostly cloudy tonight with a few rain and snow showers, the wind gradually settling down. A low in the upper 20s to 30. And more sunshine than clouds for tomorrow, and mild. A high in the upper 40s. Rain to snow Thursday night and Friday with accumulations. Right now it's 53.
Finding support for my child with ADHD felt overwhelming. I didn't know which direction to take, but Understood.org's resources helped guide me. Now I have the tools I need to keep us moving forward. Visit u.org/yourpath today.
Join me, Tom Hartman, each and every weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Tom Hartman program right here on Civic Media. I talk about the issues that all Wisconsinites can get behind, from unrigging our economy so it works for all of us, not just the billionaire class, to improving our representative government, to delivering on the promise of we the people. Tune in middays right here on your local Civic Media station from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Tom Hartman program. Tag, you're it.
Is there an issue that's important to you? Would you like the President of the United States to know how you feel? why not call the White House comment line? The number is 202-456-1111. The White House comment line is open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Standard phone rates may apply. You may also send an e-message to the President and
Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now a guy who washes his hands even after using a towel, Pete Schwaba.
Hey, welcome back. Hour number 2 is underway, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to have you here on this rainy... What's it like in Madison, Zommers? Is it raining and gross?
It is neither. Today has been a very nice day. You saw I'm not wearing it. I contemplated dressing up as if I were going to the beach just because it's so nice out today. I was going to put on, I have like this floral button-down shirt and matching shorts.
Okay.
I chose not to. It wasn't quite that warm.
Would it kill you to wear a top hat once in a while?
Well, I don't own one. If you want to ship me one, I'll be glad to wear it.
It's so unfair that we're both in Wisconsin, and this show is on statewide, and I'm stuck with like 30s and rain, and you have beach weather. How is that possible?
You know, I couldn't tell you. The weather works in strange ways.
Sounds like a question for Mace Michaels. But wherever you're joining us from in Wisconsin, folks, I hope it's sunny and 70, unlike here in Marinette, Wisconsin and Northeast Wisconsin. Lots of fun tonight. If you missed hour number 1 of tonight's show, it is available at civicmedia.us in podcast form. You can hear my interview with Andy Wassman about a really cool event put on by Run Nina, where you got to chug a beer after every lap. By the end of the race, you will chug 4 beers and have completed 4 laps. And where most of the country is leaning toward less alcohol, Run Nina says, nope, we're going to drink alcohol while we run. So it sounded like an absolute blast. It was fun to get to know Andy. Zommers and I talked a little bit about this very bizarre video put out by Robert Bob Kennedy Jr. and Kid Rock. He's also a junior, I think. Robert Ritchie the Third or something like that. Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, they put out a workout video, but they didn't wear workout clothes, and it was very bizarre. I recommend a Google because it's kind of funny. So we got that going, and then, tonight's question, folks. Zommers, I think we just need to reintroduce. This is the Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Questions.
What is your favorite Robert Duvall movie or role? He passed away a couple days ago at the tender age of 95. Never officially retired from acting, but I don't think we've seen him on screen since 2022. But he is 95. Had a good run, left behind an incredible body of work. I said The Great Santini, but I could have just as easily been talked into The Godfather or Tender Mercies, or I'm not even joking, to Kill a Mockingbird, because he looked so tortured. Even though he didn't have a line, he was good. It was his first movie role. So no right or wrong answers, folks. There are only your answers. Please be part of the show and let us know at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can also text us on the Civic Media app, which is very easy to use. Or if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or X, Twitter, drop us a stream comment and I'll read it on the radio. I did see Zommers on the text line. Monica from Mount Horeb said she was texting the show while she was in line to see Sean Cassidy, who is, I believe he's playing the Barrymore tonight. And I think he's either in Green Bay tomorrow night or he was there last night. But he was so much fun to have on the show. And I'm glad that Monica went to see him, because I'm sure... his songs will be fun because they were pop songs in the 70s. I think he's going to sing some classics like from some of his mom's shows. He's got great stories. I cannot imagine that not being an absolutely phenomenal show. So we've got Dr. Kristen Lyerly coming up at 6:35 tonight, folks. She's going to talk to us a little bit about, fun stuff. She always talks medical stuff, Zommers, but she also gives us tips. Like, James Vanderbeek passed away from colon cancer. So she's going to stress but Kristen always does it in fun ways. She's just a blast to talk about, whether it's medicine, movies, current events, whatever. She'll be here at 6:35. Comedian Steve Gillespie will be here at 7:20 tonight, telling us all about a really cool show he's put together called the Dose Psychedelic Comedy Show. That's coming to Wisconsin. Steve has been selling out rooms all over the country. That's in Act 3 right now. Very excited to welcome my second guest of the night. He is an esteemed professor of acting at UW Green Bay, UWGB as I like to call it. Breaking new ground there. And he's also a very fine actor as well. He joins us over the stream, Mr. Alan Kopechki. Hey, buddy. How are you?
Hey, Pete. Great to see you again.
Good to see you, too. You were in studio last time.
I was, yeah.
Yeah. That's always preferable. But given the circumstances, it's just great to have you on the show. So welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I got to tell you, my head is spinning with everything you just talked about in the last few minutes, Beach wearing top hats and throwing up while you're running Nina and Kid Rock Jr. and
there is going to be
Radley.
That's
my favorite. Boo Radley.
Is your favorite Duvall role?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great choice.
Killed it with no lines. Yeah.
You're
having Kristen Lyerly on, who I love.
Yeah. I don't like her personally, but she's a great radio guest. So we always like having Kristen on. No, but you're so right about Duvall. He just looks so tortured in that, he said nothing, but he didn't have to. It was phenomenal acting.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way because I was going to ask you that anyway. But It is good to have you here. Do you have a show coming up in early April?
Yeah, April 1st to the 4th.
Tell us about Constellations.
Performances the 1st through the 3rd, and then a matinee on Saturday the 4th.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's called Constellations. It's a show that was written by Nick Payne from 2012. So tell us about your production of this show, and what can you tell us?
Well, it's really exciting. I call it a meet cute in the multiverse. Two people meet up at a barbecue. And they seem interested in each other. And then we see it play out in different ways, in different universes within the multiverse, where the circumstances are just a little bit different. And so it works out a little bit differently each time. So if you've seen the movie Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow from years ago, that was kind of a two-way split of universes, whether she made the subway or not.
Right.
And here we're splitting into multiple strands. And so it's a ton of fun as we get to know these people and then get the surprises of the slightly different ways in which they behave, or the slightly different circumstances of where they're at right now. So it's very funny, but it also brings a ton of heart. So it's just lots of fun to work on.
It sounds great. It's a 90-minute one-act play.
Yep.
And you've got two actors. Is that the entire cast?
That's the entire cast, but I will mention that we have two understudies.
Okay.
And so that's not only a good safety for us, but we put them to use throughout the play as well.
Okay.
So,
how okay, a 90-minute one act, that's basically the length of a movie or whatever, and you've got two actors. How is it hard as a director for pacing purposes? How do you keep it flowing like that, Alan?
Oh, I think first off, it is a big load for the actors. So this is a big challenge. I think the folks we have are really up to it. But I know as an actor, I hate to leave the stage. I know my energy keeps going while I'm on stage, and it's when I go off that I have to kind of recharge to bring it back on. So I don't worry too much about the pacing. I think they're in it, and their energy remains high the whole time. At least that's the way it's working so far in rehearsals.
That's great. So let me ask you this. you've got like in Green Bay, you've got big shows that come to town. You've got like Frank Hermans who puts on his own stuff. Is there a component in Green Bay that is either experimental or people putting on original plays or licensing stuff like you're doing with Constellations? My question is, do people realize what they have access to through UWGB? Does the general public come to the shows? Is it mostly students? And if they don't, how do you get them to do that? Because this is fantastic.
Yeah, I do think that we're a little bit of an undiscovered gem for some people. We do get a lot of students, and a lot of the campus community comes. I would love to see more people. We get alumni who come. We have some fans we have developed over the years, but yeah, I don't know if the general theater going public in Green Bay really has an idea of the kind of, I don't know if I want to say experimental necessarily, but really interesting cutting edge kinds of plays. And we have very talented design faculty doing really exciting things. This play in particular gives some great opportunities. So the two characters are a beekeeper and a quantum cosmologist. And so with the multiverse and the quantum cosmologist, there's tons of cool space stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's some interesting bee stuff going on. Because we are shifting in space-time from universe to universe, it gives the designers free rein to do some really exciting things.
That's so great. And I totally agree with you, like in terms of getting the general public to take advantage of this. Like, yeah, it's a college, and I think it just might be off some people's radar, not just UWGB, but in general. It's like, oh, well, that's a college. Well, they're putting on a great show, and oftentimes award-winning shows. I just would love to see more people from the general public go. And what do people, like, Alan, when they leave UWGB and they've studied theater, do most people pursue it when they leave? I know my daughter's at UW Stevens Point, and you've got people from their musical theater program. They want to go be in shows. I'm sure people at UWGB do too. But what is their path typically when they leave?
Yeah, we've got a lot of folks who get out there and get work, especially in the technical field, and we have others who are off to grad school and then teaching. We have others who are touring. I have one student who's been out on cruise ships and students doing Disney. There's all sorts of different paths. It depends on what your interests are, but we've had a lot of success from our grads.
Let's pick up right there. We're going to do a very short break. Alan Kopishki is here. He is a theater professor from UWGB. He's got great acting talent credits of his own, too. We'll talk to him about that when we come back. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
But he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie.
WMDX Madison, where biking in the snow is a personality trait.
Time to get your carpets cleaned? Call Zero Res. No harsh soaps, no sticky residue, and a 4.9 Google rating. Zero Res. Spell it forward or backward. It's the right way to clean. Call Zero Res Madison, 608-848-9000.
Tax season is here. Ramos Tax and Services has been saving you money for over 25 years. Locally owned, open year-round. Get $20 off business and $10 off personal returns. 608-442-8170 or visit 658 South Gammon Road.
Did Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers allow unauthorized immigrants to get taxpayer-funded health care? No.
But the veto that Governor Evers did, allowing illegal aliens to continue to get taxpayer-funded health care, I mean, that's just a bad veto.
Contrary to Republican U.S. Representative Tom Tiffany's December 10th claim that Evers' veto allowed taxpayer-funded coverage, no such coverage exists. Unauthorized immigrants are not eligible for federally or state-funded health care coverage in Wisconsin. 14 states use state funds to cover unauthorized immigrants, but Wisconsin does not. Evers vetoed a Republican-backed bill December 5th that would have barred public funds for health care coverage for unauthorized immigrants, calling it polarizing political rhetoric. Fact briefs are bite-sized fact checks of trending claims produced by Wisconsin Watch and GigaFact. Read more at wisconsinwatch.org.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down.
All right, welcome back. This is Nite Lite. I'm Pete Schwaba. Great to have you here. Spookster86 on the stream says Days of Thunder is his favorite Duvall movie. It's Top Gun adjacent. That's fair. And he says, get your colonoscopy, folks. Great warning. Thank you, Spookster. I'm a little behind on my latest one. Maybe that's too much information I'm putting out there, Alan. I don't know. But
a little behind.
Pun intended. Alan Kapitsky is here, folks. He is a theater professor at UWGB and an actor as well. His show Constellations runs April 1st through the 3rd, 7:30 p.m. And Saturday, April 4th at 2 p.m. at the Jane Widener Theater at the Widener Center on UWGB's campus. Check that out and take advantage of theater right in Green Bay. It's not just for college kids, folks. Check out this great production. Alan is the director, and it sounds like an absolute blast. Let me ask you something, Alan. You have the opportunity to mold lives, shape these kids. We talked a little bit about what they do when they leave. I always have this issue because sometimes I've talked to kids in grade school or high school about careers, and if they were interested in show business, I was the guy that nobody asked a question to in Wisconsin on after the fireman and the lawyer and the doctor. But everybody that comes up to me and says, everyone says I should have a fallback. And I kind of disagree with that. I feel like if you're going to go be an actor or a dancer or a set decorator, whatever it is, why would you take 2 to 4 hours a day away from your passion and getting better at it to set yourself up for failure? Am I wrong there?
In my experience, if you need a fallback, your fallback will come find you.
Correct.
You go pursue what you are passionate about, and that may end up leading you in other directions, adjacent or parallel. But yeah, I don't think saying, oh yeah, I gotta get this business degree or this engineering minor or whatever, just in case. No, I think you got to pursue what interests you, and that will lead you maybe to engineering, but by a different path and by a way that follows your passion.
I totally agree with you. And you can, try it until you're 29 and go back to school. You're still young. You got the whole, if things don't work out. But you're right, and a lot of people I know found their way in other avenues. They went into casting, or catering, or truck driving, and carpentry work on sets and that kind of stuff. So
Or you might decide you're an accountant, but you want to be an accountant for a film production company.
yeah, exactly.
Great.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, I want to ask you. You got 2 credits I'm curious about. I want to ask you about on your IMDb page. One is Feed the Fish with Tony Shalhoub, which I believe was shot in Green Bay. Would love to hear what your experience was like on that. And then you did a Walker, Texas Ranger. I would love to know if you got on Chuck Norris's bad side. So you can start wherever you want.
Okay, so Feed the Fish was mostly actually shot in Door County. The Shalhoub family has some property up there, and so my wife was the costume designer for it, and I had a very small role. I went hunting with Michael Matzdorf, the director, and Tony Shalhoub's character yelled at us, and Michael accidentally shot me in the crotch. So I had a great pained pratfall in there, and then I got rolled away on a gurney. So that was my big moment in that. But
memorable. Yeah, that's great.
It was a lot of fun.
Sure.
But Walker, Texas Ranger was a blast. I had a really nice guest star role. I was basically a Bill Gates character. And so actually I was a victim. Mitch Pileggi, who was the boss of Mully and Sculder on the X-Files.
Sure.
He was the main bad guy. And they were robbing me and my party guests. So I did get punched by one of the bad guys.
Oh, sweet.
So got to work with the stuntmen and stunt ensemble on that. And actually, Chuck told me after that scene, he said, "You take a good punch." So I want that on my gravestone.
Yeah, from his mouth itself. Like I would assume he's taken a few too. So that's probably high praise.
Yeah.
Alan, thank you so much for being here tonight. Good luck with Constellations. Maybe the wife and I'll get a nutty night out on the town, and we'll come down and see it. And I would love to see the facilities and the production and everything. It sounds great. So I appreciate you coming on and break a leg, my friend.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me on, Pete.
You got it. All right, that's Alan Kopicki. Check out Constellations at the Jane Widener Theater at the Widener Center on UWGB's campus, April 1st through the 3rd, and then there's a matinee on the 4th, too. Sounds like a great show. Zommers, I would ask you if you're going, but you already bailed on the Door County Film Festival last week, so I'm not going to hold you to anything.
I earned that one.
Are you one of those guys that's like, hey, you want to do something Friday? Who's going to be there?
You mean like asking who else is going to be there before I say yes?
Exactly. Or waiting to see what better plans materialize.
No, but I usually don't give, real answers because I'm like, I probably said yes to something else already and forgot. And that often turns out to be the case.
I'm just saying you hardly ever hang out with me and my wife. Just consider it.
That's true. I haven't even met her before.
Well, that's because you always bail. All right, we've got Kristen Lyerly coming up after the news at 6:35. Let's get a couple of texts out of the way here. Ollie from the North Woods. Oh, she's doing a ruse here. It says this is actually Lori from Hayward, maybe on Ollie's phone. And says a Robert Duvall show I really enjoyed was watching the series Lonesome Dove. Never watched that, but that had a nice run on network color television. In the 608, all Duvall movies. True Grit. You can score 1 point by returning a blocked extra point. That would make the score 6-1. You make heads or tails of that, Zombie?
No, I have no idea what that's about.
He's doing the beer run. He just chugged a beer. All right, we're coming back with Dr. Kristen Lyerly after news, sports, and weather. Great to have you here, folks. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite.
MDX in the Mad City, 4 Lakes, State Street, and 9,000 hemp shops.
This report brought to you by Downtrends Distilling, making fun-flavored spirits with local produce. Attend a tasting. Book today at downtrends.com.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Law enforcement sources tell ABC News the FBI reached out to Mexican authorities about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, but also say there's no evidence she was taken across the border. ABC's Alex Stone is in Tucson and says investigators are not done with the glove found several miles from her home.
The focus right now still being on that DNA that they were not able to get a match on yesterday. Now the sheriff saying they're looking at doing, possibly, they haven't decided yet, to do genetic genealogy on it, try to map out who other family members may have been of whoever's DNA that is. That takes a long time. They haven't decided that they're going to do it, but that would take a while.
Oh, would you look who it is?
8 backcountry skiers were found dead today.
Currently.
I'm eating salad. Is it in my
Hello
teeth?
there, young
Sorry about
lady. No, but it would only give you character, so don't worry about it.
Look at you, looking all like cozy in your bedroom there. Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
Nite Lite after dark. I've got,
Hi, Aaron.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Everything you recovered? I know it was a while ago that you had the car accident, but everything good now?
2 months today.
Whoa.
Wow, today.
Yes. And no, I'm still not walking on one of my feet, but in a couple weeks I'll be able to do that. And I have one more surgery that I need to do. But overall, yes, and so grateful. And today's
Compared
been
to
a
how
day
it
of
could have
reflection.
gone, yeah.
Seriously, so close.
God, you see that car, it was that's crazy. That's good to hear.
I think about it all the time because I remember everything so precisely. And I just think about the decisions and all of the circumstances and what happened afterwards and just how lucky I am. This just feels like borrowed time. Like, use your life in an effective and positive way because you were just given a gift.
Right, and it's not like you put yourself in that position or a weird position. It was a freak random, those are the oh crap moments. Why did I stand on this ladder or do this or that or whatever? You had it was just so random and crazy.
I even so I ran into a semi. That's what happened. And I talked to the semi driver and I asked her, because I was curious. I said, when did you know I was there? Did you see my car coming? Because I had the headlights on and everything. And she was like, oh no, I saw you less than a second before impact. And that's how dense the fog was where this accident happened.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
But
here we are.
Yeah. For selfish reasons, I'm glad you made it through so you could be a guest tonight. Is that too dark?
It was just about tonight. No, but when I got home, I didn't tell my kids. I just told them I was in an accident. So they just thought, she's fine. She was in an accident. So they were making jokes about the sixth sense.
Oh, dear.
Maybe you're really not alive. Maybe you've been dead the whole time. And then I took them to go see the car and they were like, sorry.
Sorry to make light, Mom. Oh, that's so. You must have been that must have been something you pulled out of your pocket. I cannot wait to show them what actually happened, so you have that over them.
Well, teenage boys, you have to be pretty impressive to impress them.
And you can be spiteful as a mom sometimes. I think that's allowed.
Sometimes.
It's the norm.
Is your mom nice, Aaron? I don't know. I think I'm nice sometimes.
My mom's nice, but also incredibly sarcastic.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. I think that's a good combo,
I think so, too, but I'm biased.
So,
you're that's a Valentine for your mom right there. You're biased towards your mom.
I'll have to send her a clip of me saying that publicly.
Run that as a promo for a week and see what Civic Media says.
She would love that. This one's for the moms.
You've got, I was at Fringe last year, and Kristen, it was so much fun. And I love the format with the shorter shows, and it was just, but yeah, Kate's like, oh no, Lindsay's hilarious. He's like, and he's a good guy. She loves that he's a good guy too.
All right, here we go. We got 10 seconds.
Okay. I guess we can pause this.
But our kids, we have to talk about our kids.
That's right.
Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
Dr. Kristen Lyerly is here. You just came from an OBGYN conference.
They had a lube bar because there are lots of different kinds of personal lubricants that you can use.
When you say lube, do you need that to give birth the woman?
No, it's for sex. I recommend generally a water-based lube.
Are you writing this down, Conrad?
I cannot speak right now.
Is he blushing? Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba.
We run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother.
All right. Welcome back, folks. I am Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. And that is also not a Kid Rock song. Zommers is spinning the tunes tonight and having fun with that. Welcome back. Glad you're with me, folks. This is a Wednesday that feels like a Monday, but it's kind of like a Thursday because of our crazy week this week. But nonetheless, we are here talking about the things in life that make us happy. And one of the people that makes me happy is my next guest. She does great work. She's one of my favorite guests, or people for that matter. She's a highly respected OBGYN, a proud boy mom, and she also has her own show here on Civic Media called the Dr. Kristen Lyerly Show. You probably guessed who it is. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, how you doing, Pete?
To clarify, I'm
Yes.
also an OBGYN, but not highly respected.
No, you are not.
In fact,
But
I'm lowly respected.
I was very impressed that you ran the lube promo because it's important. People need to know about lube.
Well,
Pete,
I mean,
Pete right now
do
is
they
silenced.
not? No, I'm just...
People don't.
Who doesn't know about lube?
Many people have many questions, and they are very reluctant to ask those questions. You got to build trust before people will come out with these, because we've been taught in life not to talk about things like sex. But if you talk about it and you get good information, it's so much better.
And listen,
Safer.
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Again?
I think sex is really neat. I'm just saying, wait till the line goes down and then go ask the pharmacist. I didn't know people had an issue with lube. I thought it was kind of an everyday thing now.
No, people have issues with some of it's so personal. Like some people have issues with some things that you would just be like, really? I mean, kind of like you with lube right now, I guess. It's just like really personal based on your own experience. And that's why we all need access to a healthcare provider who can help us answer our questions.
And you're certainly that. Zommers, did you have something?
I was going to say that even working as a pharmacy technician at CVS a few years back, that you got some people who would really nervously come up and privately ask you where something is. And it's like, oh, it's back there in that aisle and I can bring it back if you want. I'm like, no, I got it. Or people would ask questions. They're like, you don't have to whisper. It's fine. We get asked stuff like this all the time. It's okay. Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. And I know there a couple times when you've been on this show and the thing we did with Conrad, I was a little bit, taken aback because you were talking about lube at this convention, and I thought, oh, it's like something with babies or whatever, and then you kind of, dropped that bomb, and it was very funny. But I'm saying, I don't care. Like I'm very pro all of it. I wear a condom every day just in case. I don't leave the house without wearing one. I have lube in the car. I'm ready. It never happens, but I'm not expecting it to. So that's why that's a win.
Lube that you have in the car is different, Pete.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, the car lube is different than your personal lubricants.
No.
See, there are questions.
That explains the confused look when I say, give me some Astroglide on those lug nuts.
Listen to you dropping names, Pete Schwaba.
Listen, I'm a free...
Pete is a mild-mannered guy, but...
No. Listen, I don't pretend to be anybody. I will say... This is what I'm fascinated about is the position of lactation consultant, because this was not offered as a major when I was in college. I would have been the best damn lactation consultant in the world.
No.
And their only note the professor would have been able to say to me is, try not to smile so much, Mr. Schwaba.
Liking boobs does not make you a good lactation consultant. It is actually a really, really important job because everybody, so you probably can't relate to this, but I will tell you, and this is in all seriousness, when people have babies, it's often a conflict that people have, like, am I going to be able to breastfeed? Should I breastfeed? Do I
Right.
want to breastfeed? Because it's a huge commitment. So having a lactation consultant who can answer your questions and make sure that you have, if you want to do this, that you have the best shot at it, that you have somebody there to answer your questions. Because really, if you can breastfeed and it's the right thing for you, that's great. It's cheap. It's easy, but it requires a lot from the mom. So I love my lactation consultant, so don't joke about them.
Well, I joke about everything, but I'm just saying, I didn't know. And here's the other thing. I didn't know it was going to be a challenge because we had kids. We were committed to trying the breastfeeding. And, I realized when the woman came in, I'm like, you're what? You're a lactation consultant? Like we have an assist here? And then, the joke in my act used to go, and then she grabs my wife's boob to help
Breast.
her. And she's like, but she looked at me, Kristen, and she said, may I? And I was like, yeah, why don't I hold the baby and dim the lights and you got, so I didn't, but you're absolutely right. It is a challenge. It doesn't happen for everybody. So it is good that position exists for sure.
And there's guilt, like if you want to breastfeed and you feel like you're supposed to breastfeed, but it's not working, there's this whole emotional thing that happens that goes along with it. So yeah, it's not just about boobs.
No, it's not. Kristen Lyerly is here, folks. Dr. Kristen Lyerly. She is dispensing medical advice whether we want it or not. She does not believe I have I'm not an OBGYN, not even in a freelance capacity.
No.
Before we move on, Kristen, because we do have a lot to talk about, let's get the medical stuff out of the way, because you said when we texted earlier, you wanted to say something about colon cancer and James Vanderbeek. And, this is one of those things, and I admit I've been late I have this thing about anesthetics. I don't like to go under.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that. Yeah, it scares me. And I don't, I'm not worried about the procedure or anything, because I'm sure there's lube involved, but I don't, but I'm scared to go under. What do you tell people about that?
Whatever you do, whether you choose to have a colonoscopy, which is the recommended screening starting around age 45, unless you have risk factors, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but age 45 is the standard. If you can get a colonoscopy, if that sits well with you, great, do that. If you can't, there are other tests that you can do to screen for colon cancer. So there's a box, you can poop in a box, Pete, and send it through UPS back to the factory, and it will look for any signs of colon cancer. That's a really good test. And then you don't have to go through the anxiety and everything of the colonoscopy. But to be clear, the colonoscopy is the gold standard. So if you can't do that, that is the best alternative.
I just want to clear something up. You said it doesn't sit well during a colonoscopy. To clarify.
As soon as I said that, I knew it was the wrong thing.
Well, that's great advice. How did we do? You were on the show a couple months ago. We were talking about this, everything that's going around, the cold and flu season, and how it's very bad this year. I got something, and I know the night I got it, I didn't sleep. I was in Chicago having a blast. I barely slept all night. I got sick. It is like literally still lingering, and I'm probably 5 weeks in now. I had to go on a prednisone. I mean, what is going on? Is there stronger stuff out there?
Wow, that's heavy duty, having to go on steroids. I am just recovering from a sinus infection that I've had for 2 weeks, and I've never been on antibiotics for a sinus infection ever. But on day 12, I finally called my doctor and said, please, and I'm feeling so much better, but I might cough while we're talking because I'm still dealing with the tail end of it. I don't know that it's been worse this season, but Pete, we're getting older. And the older we get, our immune systems can't handle it as well as they did when we were younger. So that's why it's really important as we age to make sure that we're keeping up with our vaccines, that we're getting our flu shots. Flu is so preventable. And the flu shot isn't 100%. Nothing is 100%. But if it can prevent you from getting the flu, which takes thousands of lives every year, then hey, why not?
Absolutely. I'm totally with you there. And that makes sense that it's an age thing, because I've never had to go on something. Like it's something that works its course, runs its course, and then you're like, okay, but I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous, and because of this gig, every time I come back from a break, I'm like, it's awful. So
me too.
Yeah. So tell us about the Dr. Kristen Lyerly show. What do we have to look forward to? You do such a great job hosting that show.
This weekend, I'm actually having my oldest son, who is also my producer, who is also a public school teacher. So he and I are going to talk about what's happening in the media ecosystem, how we are really transitioning from this legacy media where CBS can say to Colbert, that guest is not appropriate, to anybody can say anything with a ring light on TikTok and people believe them. So where do you line up? How do you know what to trust? Especially when you're talking about things that can determine the rest of your life, like healthcare decisions, especially.
Right. Did you see the Bob Kennedy Jr. and Kid Rock video they put out?
Yeah, where they were working out in the sauna.
How bizarre was that?
And it wasn't just them. That was actually from the federal government. The federal government put that out. Yeah.
See, if it was from them and they said, here's our nutty night hanging out, it's funny. Okay, I get it. But he's wearing jeans.
Yeah. And he gets into like cold plunge with the jeans. And cold plunges, by the way, are not benign. Like if you are somebody with a heart condition, a cold plunge could actually give you a heart attack. So like
kill you. All right. Well, that's
especially
good
if
to
you're
know.
wearing jeans.
What else health-wise do we need to... Where do you stand on echinacea?
Echinacea?
Yeah, like as a preventative. I've been told, now it was an actress who told me this, so I'm not really... But I've heard from other people too, that if you take echinacea when you feel your first symptom of illness, you won't get sick. And that has kind of been a thing for me. I'm kind of a believer in it, but I don't know if it's like a placebo dealio or what.
I'm going to ask you a very personal question right now, Pete.
Can't be worse than anything I've ever heard from you, so go for it.
Was it like 20 years ago that you heard this advice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
Echinacea was trending 20 years ago before trending was trending because it was like, it was a cool thing that people were recommending if at the very early onset of cold symptoms to ward off symptoms. You know, is it proven? There's some evidence for it. There's not a ton of evidence. The truth is a lot of these supplements are just actually no supplements are regulated by the FDA. They're not tested by the FDA and you don't actually know what's in your supplements. So echinacea, maybe it'll help. It's not likely to cause harm. Can you take it? Sure, why not? Are you just pouring your money into the toilet? Hard to say.
What about vitamin D?
Oh, I'm a big fan of vitamin D.
Me too. I feel like that does prevent illness.
Well, yeah, because in the winter, so we make vitamin D from sunshine on our
Right.
skin. And in the winter, in these colder climates, we don't go outside and there's really not a lot of sunshine anyway, although today was beautiful in Green Bay. So vitamin D is really good to take for us, especially in the winter. But if you're getting plenty of sunshine, you probably don't need it.
Here's what I'm hearing. Everywhere around the state, it's like gorgeous. And in Marinette, I'm looking out the window all day and it's just rain and wind and cold. I'm like in a pocket. It's like when they do the weather across the state, it's like, and then at the Schwaba house, it's 30 and windy. It's like the 5-day forecast.
It was so sunny today that I put a chair out on the deck and sat at the deck table.
Come on. Like, Zommers is wearing beach clothing with his top hat and spats. You what?
I was going to. I didn't.
Oh, okay. Here's one, Kristen. Mark from Prairie du Sac says, a colonoscopy isn't all that bad. The prep is not pleasant, but not horrible. Well, that's what I'm aspiring for, is not horrible. Thank you, though, Mark. I appreciate that. Dr. Kristen Lyerly is here. She's going to stick around through this break, and we're going to talk about some other really cool stuff. I want to hear, she was in a terrible accident. She's going to give us an update. And we're going to talk maybe some college theater. Seems to be a theme tonight. We're coming right back. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Do we have like a minute for me to go get my inhaler?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Awesome.
92.7 WMDX.
There was a time when barbecue was perfect. A strong, reliable flavor that could be counted on. But then big manufacturers decided that barbecue needed to be zesty or spicy or sweeter or whatever. If you miss the good old days of great tasting barbecue, we'd like to introduce you to Grandpa's Barbecue. Made in small batches from Grandpa's original recipe. Buy yours online today at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Every story matters. And the Civic Media Radio Network is celebrating Black History Month by honoring the powerful stories of Wisconsin's own trailblazers. Meet Venus Robertson. The Green Bay woman shares why Black History Month is special for her.
You need to be proud
Okay, I'm back.
of your history.
Cool.
Welcome
Sucks
back.
that they put you on steroids, Pete. I don't know about you, but anytime I've had to be on that, it is absolutely miserable.
Yeah, it's not like my daughter had to take them when she was home because she had a flu shot and got the flu, and they put her on them and she didn't sleep. She was falling asleep at like 5 a.m. It looks like a miserable start to the break. So I was anticipating that. It wasn't that bad, but I just don't like to take anything. Like I take pretty good care of myself for the most part, and I'm incredibly muscular, so that helps hold things off. But yeah. You just dated yourself there, my friend. Hubba,
You're welcome.
hubba, hubba.
You're welcome.
See, the real reason that Pete keeps asking people about the RFK Kid Rock thing is because that's his daily routine, and so he wanted a doctor's perspective without outing himself. So sorry, Pete, I didn't mean to give away the game there.
That's
Actually,
okay.
I did. That's exactly what I did.
I need to take some steroids like Robert Kennedy is taking because I cannot seem to get back in shape. I make great progress for like, you know what? Let's save that for the air. I'll ask you that.
It's been about 50 years
Okay.
since that was the case. But some people
Ask the OBGYN and lactation consultant about anabolic steroids.
in uncertain times.
She knows more about it than I do.
One thing, and math is something different.
Not recommended.
The math is very clear.
I'm not.
A diversified, low
And that joke, by the way, used to crush in my act. May I? Yeah. Go ahead. You want me to hold the baby?
How money works, how you can save more and spend less.
That's adorable.
Until next time, this is Carrie Joy saying, take
There are a lot of funny jokes that dads think are funny at the time of childbirth that really aren't very funny.
Probably just hacky jokes.
Yeah, things I can't really say even on The Secret Show.
Well, we do have ears on us, right, Zommers?
Yeah.
Okay. Mind your P's and Q's, Dr. Larry.
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you. Does the FCC regulate what happens on the breaks?
No. But people still listen. We could still get a talking to, but we won't get fined. All right, 10 seconds.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Wisconsinites and parts beyond. It is great to have you here. I am Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite, and I'm in a great mood tonight because my friend, Dr. Kristen Lyerly, is my current guest on the show. She is telling us... I go coughing again. Why don't you throw that inhaler through the picture
I know.
here?
It's right here. Here.
I have one. I have asthma, sort of. I don't use it often, but it's
You
terrible.
have
So-
asthma? Yeah.
Did I say it like
Okay.
that? Oh my God. Aaron, can we edit that out? Whatever that was, that snuffleupagus sound that Dr. Lyerly just made.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, rats. No, it's adorable. Hey, it's great to have you here. Before I have a couple more questions for you because I
Mhm.
love to get free medical advice from you when you're on the show. So you could say, is that actual wine you're drinking?
This is a beer. It is a
it's a
Dogfish
beer.
Head 90
Oh.
minute, which is my very favorite.
Oh, very nice.
That's
How
a
do you
good one.
feel about the non-alcoholic beers?
I've never tried a non-alcoholic beer. Why?
Well,
I'm
who's the
totally
health-
kidding.
Who's the health
I've heard
nut
that
now?
I've heard they're really good. Like Athletic is that one brand I've heard is really good.
Stella, Blue Moon, they've crushed non-alcoholic beer. I'm not even a beer drinker, and I like them because I don't really drink. But the spirits, they're a little behind. Like, I would love to sip a glass of whiskey and have that
Oh,
same taste.
dude.
But they're
One
not.
time, my roommate bought a bottle of non-alcoholic bourbon, and we each had about a sip before dumping it down the drain. Like, I was like, why did you buy this? And I smelled it. I'm like, oh, man.
I know.
It's just wrong.
It's not even close. They got
It's
a ways
one
to
thing.
go.
Like if it's free, that's one thing. But if you buy it,
Okay, you ready for this? For fake whiskey, no alcohol whiskey, $32 a bottle. It's like, I understand it's a process, but it's terrible. Like, it's not even close. Save your money, folks. That's all I'm saying.
Drink
Kristen
kombucha.
Lyerly is here. So, all right, let's update. we have some crossover listeners, and I know I was as curious about this as anybody. How are you feeling? You were in a terrible car accident 2 months ago. The pictures on Facebook made my jaw drop, basically. And I knew you were okay, luckily, because I had just spoken with you, not knowing you had been through a horrible accident. How are you feeling, and how is your road to recovery going?
It's really going well. It was 2 months ago today. So today has been
Wow.
like a big day of self-reflection and just thinking about what could have been and just
Yeah.
the split second timing. Yeah, I luckily literally walked out of the hospital after this terrible accident where my car was crushed and I got transported by an ambulance and run through the CT scanner. And, fortunately, I just ended up with a broken foot and some other bumps and bruises and a pretty bad concussion. But, here I am 2 months later and just incredibly grateful and thinking about what could have been, but what is. And
Yeah.
I feel like I am here for a reason, and it's election season, so let's freaking go, brother. With all the craziness and the disinformation that's out there right now, I, as an OBGYN doctor who speaks the truth and is from Green Bay, Wisconsin, let's have a conversation and make sure people have the information that they need to make really good decisions, whether it's in the exam room or the voting booth.
How did that happen? How did medical advice, and I understand COVID, and I don't want to get into all that, but who would not listen to a doctor or someone who has done the research and has the information? It saddens me that that's become political, because I think anybody would, frankly, whether you're on the left or the right or whatever, most people listen to their doctors, right?
Well, I think in the exam room you do, because you're one-on-one. But institutionally, our institutions have been rocked. You can't trust the CDC anymore. You look at CBS, they won't let Colbert have a guest on. All of these things that we thought were gospel aren't anymore. But people are finding truth and authenticity on social media, in influencers, in people who they feel like they have a relationship with. So that's where we got to go. We have to be in those spaces. And unfortunately, medicine has not done that. Science has not done that. We still think that we need to talk about evidence and data. And let me tell you about the details of this study. People can't stomach that. You got to have all that. That's really important. But you also have to deliver it in a way where people can digest it.
That's a great point. And it's sad that it's just a question of being late to the party, because I agree. You shouldn't have to do that. People should seek out this. That's a good use of their time. Not, hey, what medical advice or tips are going to fall in my lap? That just doesn't seem right. So, all right. So you're doing well. I'm glad to hear that. Are you on some kind of a rehab thing? Do you have to? You like to bike? Have you been allowed to go out biking since it's 70 and sunny in Green Bay today?
It was so beautiful in Green Bay today. I was allowed earlier this week to get on my spin bike in the garage. So I've been doing that, but I haven't gotten on my real bike. But I've been very faithful to the physical therapy that I have to do, which seems really silly because some of it is just seriously. But it's so important. And my physical therapist told me only 20% of people actually follow through on their physical therapy. So people, if you've got physical therapy, now is the time. Go out there, do your exercises.
Do you have, you come on the show and you kind of make medicine fun? I feel like we should do a little tap dance and put some music on.
I can't.
Medicine.
I only have one foot that I can use right now.
That's an excuse.
Okay.
And maybe, do you have a place people can go to hear your medical advice? X, Facebook, wherever. Do you have a following somewhere people could latch onto?
I'm on all the socials at Dr.
Okay.
Kristen Lyerly. Yeah.
I was trying to set you up for that. That's what I know you are. I'm like, that's what we do in the radio business. And Zommers does not follow you, and he could use some medical advice from time to time.
Zommers, fun fact, is my birthday buddy.
Is that true?
And actually, I do follow her, so, you just lied.
I follow her blindly, though.
Misinformation.
Yeah. Speaking of misinformation, we have about just a little bit. Can we keep you through the break and talk about a lot of different stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So what is your favorite Robert Duvall movie? Do you have one? That's our question of the night.
Oh, yes, and I can't tell you what it is, but he was a cowboy.
The Tender Mercy? All right, we'll research that.
You
don't know. You really legitimately don't know.
I legitimately do.
All right, we'll get to the bottom of this. We're coming back, folks. News, sports, and weather is next. Comedian Steve Gillespie is here at 7:20. That's going to be a blast in Act 3. Kristen Lyerly, though, get an extra dose of Kristen Lyerly. See what I did there? We're coming right back. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
WMDX Columbus.
Thank you, Aaron.
And great conversation. A Civic Media
Well, you know,
station.
if you're on, I have to play that song.
I know.
Those are the rules.
I also recognize the Mary J. It wasn't exactly the Mary J, but yes.
I know it wasn't the same song, but
I got it.
anything else you want to hear?
I'm really into the Foo Fighters right now.
All right. You've got Pete's intro going in, but I'll do some Foo Fighters on the way out with that one.
Love that. You know who else I've been listening to a lot of? Olivia Dean.
Olivia Dean.
She's new, and she's got this like great music that, you know, when you're just like hanging out at home and you just need something in the background, she's got that music. But then every once in a while you'll hear something and you're like, oh yeah, that song.
Les Wexner, the 88-year-old CEO of the company that owns Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie & Fitch, testifying to Congress today that he didn't know about Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes and was duped by, quote, a
Yeah, I don't think I'm familiar, so I'll have to look and see what kind of stuff she's got.
ABC News and
She's
its
new.
affiliates have spoken with communities across
Try to
the
keep up with the
country
Gen
about a
Zs,
growing number
Aaron.
of AI data
Yeah, you know,
centers.
I'm trying to, but she's just too young. She's a year younger than me, so I don't know. It's past my time.
I love that you already like have her all looked up. That's so you.
Never goes away.
You're on it.
Tells us the data center emits a droning hum 24/7, and it's not just the noise taking a toll. She says in the last year, her average electricity bill has spiked 23%.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. The U.S. has more than 3,000 data centers with another 1,200 in development. A marine researcher says he's captured images of the first recorded shark in the Antarctic Ocean. A new exhibit will open at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this summer, featuring rare items from Paul McCartney's personal archive. It documents his life from 1970 through 1981. Dave Packer, ABC News.
This report brought to you by Chad's Design Build. See their dedicated team of experts. Remodeling done well with love. Chad'sDesignBuild.com.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your
You guys there?
passion, your skills,
Yeah.
your career. You
How are the
belong
beats
here.
okay?
Learn more at YouBelong.
I have not edited them yet.
Civic Media Mornings.
Oh, I have to read this one. It's always a great evening when Dr. Kristen is on. Damn straight.
No, I love hearing from Mark from the Sack. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Okay.
Oh, he's still always listening.
We
Yeah.
had a rally together about a year ago for Susan Crawford in Madison, and he showed up. He had a mask on because he's got some illness things going on.
Right.
And he was like, I'm Mark from the Sack. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That is so crazy to see you in person. Because, you know, you have these parasocial relationships
Right.
with people that when you actually see them in person, it's a whole different thing.
It is so weird. Yes, people who listen to the radio hear the voices of the hosts, and then you hear it in public, and your head whips around, and you're like, whoa, it's that person. But there are some callers who you hear their voices out in public, and you're like, whoa, it's that person. I know Troy in Mount Horeb, I don't know how much either of you have talked with
yeah.
him, but he has a very distinct laugh. And I immediately knew who it was when I saw him at a theater.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, when we showed that The Godfather of Green Bay on December 4th, all these listeners showed up, and it was great. But I was like,
yeah, that
oh, I
was
did
also-
not
yeah.
picture you being, you know, it's just funny. You kind of prejudge them on their text as to what they would look like.
And they know what you look like. And they think
Right.
they know you because they watch you and they see you.
Right. I am an open book.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
That's the beauty of you, Pete. Well, that's one of the many things. That is the beauty
Thank
of
you. I'm vulnerable. I'm fragile, so I appreciate that.
Vulnerable.
I'm always vulnerable. What do you think of the? Can you see me right now, or is the camera?
Nope.
All right,
I
I'm holding
see-
up.
Oh, hi. Oh, is that a
This-
suppository?
No.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
This is what's called a boom boom stick. And
Yep.
you know about these?
Yeah, they vibrate, right? Oh.
No,
okay.
they don't. My goodness. I thought I had the worst mind in the world. No, these are like you put them in your nostril and they're supposed to clear out your sinuses.
Yes.
But I'm worried I'm going to get
I have
addicted.
sold plenty of those, but didn't really know what they actually do.
Have you
What were
ever used a neti pot where you pour water into your head?
Yes. That's one of the Pete Schwaba preventative tactics that I swear by. That didn't work because I was in Chicago the night the Bears beat the Packers with 8,000 of my best friends going crazy. But yeah, I do that all the time. I do the Neil Med sinus rinse as opposed to the neti pot.
Yeah, you know what that's called? That you were at the Bears game with 8,000 of your closest friends, and then you got a sinus infection? That's a consequence.
And it was totally worth it.
Do you know who else shares a birthday with Aaron Zommers and me?
Who?
Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, the
And
Packers.
Britney Spears.
Oh, okay.
And
All right, here
Britney
we go.
Spears.
Are we back already? Okay. The Britster.
Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who gives edible undies as gifts just because they taste good, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Act 3 of tonight's show, and it is great to have you here wherever you're joining us from tonight, around Wisconsin or parts beyond, over the app and stream. We are having a great time tonight. If you missed the first part of the show, Act 1, we talked to Andy Wassman, who had he is organizing this beer run. Dr. Lyerly, have you heard about this? It's the Run Nina is a group, and they do 4 laps, and you have to you have to chug a beer after every lap. So I thought that was kind of fun. Like they're sort of like spitting in the face of general wisdom, which is people are going away from alcohol, and they're promoting it during exercise, which I thought was really fun.
The last lap is a blast. The runners are like,
They have, I'm not kidding, they have a puke bucket, and he was talking about that. And I first thought was, what a bunch of lushes, but no. That would be a serious thing. But we talked to Andy. That was a great interview, folks. If you want more information on the event, go to civicmedia.us, and all of our hours are cataloged in podcast form, and there are some fun pictures there as well. Hour number 2, we talked to Alan Kapishke. He is a professor of theater at UWGB. His show Constellations is coming up in early April. It sounds like a lot of fun. Let me ask you this, Dr. Lyerly. I think, one of my questions for him was, do people in Green Bay that live there that have nothing to do with the college realize they have access to great theater and take advantage of it? And he said he didn't think so. Not to say some people don't, but do you ever do that?
I wish I could say yes, because
Okay.
we both have theater kids, and
do.
I feel like I should be a better part of that community. But no, I mean, it's a beautiful theater.
Yeah,
but
oh, gorgeous.
no, I haven't. I should.
And I'm the same way. I live not even an hour away, and I'm like, why don't I make a night of that? Like, it's just not, sometimes it's just not on your radar, and you need a shove. But that was really fun talking to Alan, folks, so check out that as well. We talked about a lot of stuff. And our question of the night, folks, is what is your favorite Robert Duvall movie? Robert Duvall passed away a couple days ago. He is a true titan of show business. He's got an incredible body of work, and his body was just okay. But he's a great actor. So check those out and answer the question. Be part of the show. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Let us know what your favorite Robert Duvall movie is. You can also text us on the app, or if you're watching the radio on the stream, drop us a stream comment. Speaking of stream comments, this was a great one. Joe who is watching the radio on YouTube, says, it's always a great evening when Dr. Kristen is on. I could not agree more, Joe. You got
Hey,
fans.
Joe. Thanks.
You got fans, Lyerly.
I like hanging out with you. It's just so fun and easy. I have my pizza here. I've got a beer.
Oh, wow,
We're just
really?
chatting. Yeah.
Do I have... I've always been wanting to be one of those people that had an aura. Would you say I have an aura?
I think you have to be in person with somebody to say that they have an aura.
Interesting.
Don't you think?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I was kidding anyway.
There's a whole other dimension. I honestly believe, this is going to sound wacky, but I honestly believe that there is like this ribbon of something that we do not understand that runs through the universe and connects us all. And just don't even try. But it is a very human thing. And I think aura is part of that.
I totally agree with you. And I remember, there's a book by a guy named Brian Greene called, it's on string theory, The Elegant Universe. And he kind of equates, just like you said, a string connecting us all through physics and all that kind of stuff. And it's so funny you said that. I just watched something today I saw on Twitter, if you can believe that, or X, about David Lynch talking about transcendental meditation and what it's done for him. And I'm a fan. I've dabbled, but I felt like after I watched this video today, I need to get more into it. I need to get that ribbon out there, Kristen, and connect myself to the world. So.
I was listening to your theme music and I was thinking about Ringo Starr and the Beatles and George Harrison, because when I was recovering acutely from my injuries, I watched the Beatles because I love them and they always make me feel good. And I watched the George Harrison whatever it is, documentary, and he was a big meditator. And when he died, he was like, that's cool because I'm going to that place that I've been trying to go to forever. And I was thinking, I wish I could meditate, but I just cannot get myself to like settle down long enough to be in that stream of consciousness.
But you're the person, and I don't mean to make assumptions, but that's why, like, people like us who are kind of people person or out there do need that. And I feel like, I don't want to tempt fate. Like, I believe in what I believe in, but if George Harrison, what if he dies and that's it? It's just dark. There's nothing in it. Like, this could be it. This could be, look, we've got water, trees, soil, laughter, hugs, blue sky. This could be it. So treat it like heaven.
I'm really glad that we're here together tonight, Pete.
Me too. I'm glad you made it through that accident, Kristen. So.
Pete, just so you don't freak out.
Yeah.
A therapist once told me, "Do you remember what it was like before you were born?"
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, never mind. Then the whole thing doesn't work. So,
okay, but that would be the argument for there is nothing after this?
No, that's the argument of don't freak out about it if there's nothing.
Oh, right.
Pete's mom was like, go into the light. Finally, just go into the light.
I'm ready. No, and I agree with that. And that's how I used to think. Like, if you're in nothingness and someone said, well, you could go to this place where they have all this stuff, that would sound like heaven. So, and I hope that, after this, I'm banking that there is something because I'm trying to be a good person.
Yeah, you just never know. So you just got to, be good and be connected and just try to enjoy it.
I agree with it. And I like that you're a doctor and you're kind of verifying all this because this was unexpected talk, folks. This is what they call tangential discussion. So I'm glad we had it, though. This is fun.
We're deep.
Conversation where you never know where it's going to go. Speaking of all of that, Dr. Lyerly, you mentioned that we have 2 kids. We have theater kids. That's another thing that I think is a reason we're friends. And I've met your son, Lindsay, who a couple years ago came into the studio with you. Wonderful kid. He's at Stevens Point now with my daughter. They're both in the musical theater program. How do you like that?
What if they started dating?
Now you made it weird. I am so going to send this link to my daughter. No.
Don't. Lindsay would kill me. No, the theater program is so neat. Well, first of all,
so great.
It's like they call it the Broadway of the Midwest. Stevens Point does an amazing job of training these theater kids. And they did this Fringe Fest last weekend that I was floored. Student written, directed, produced, the crew, everything was student led. I just honestly could not believe the talent.
I remember sitting there last year when my daughter was part of that, and I was as entertained by the college kids watching the show and all of their friends. It's so funny. There's a while after college where you're like, yeah, I'm still young and all that. And then now you see it and it's like, whoa, things have changed, like in a good way. I'm not saying, but they're very open, they're very fun, and theater kids are like that anyway. But it's a blast.
Even some of the shows that they wrote and the emotions that were in their shows and the way that they were able to talk about it, because we're Gen Xers, we don't talk about things quite like that. It helped me understand them a little bit better. And then afterwards, we were all out in the hallway and they all convened and they were loving on each other. And it just, as a mom, it made me feel so happy for my son.
That's so great. And I envy that you live in Green Bay, because like I love Marinette where I live. It's beautiful. It's great. But we are so far from everything. Like you're an hour from Stevens Point, basically. Hour and 10 minutes. That's nothing. Yeah. Hour and a half.
Yeah. It's an hour and a half.
The speed limit is no longer 55.
Trust me. I know.
Yeah.
No, I used to drive through Stevens Point all the time. That was how I got to school when I was in college, because I went to the University of Minnesota and I came from Kaukauna. And so I took Highway 10 through Stevens Point. It's all different now. But sometimes when I'm driving, I get a little nostalgic.
That's so cool. All right, let's wrap up this awesome conversation, even though I don't want to, because we were talking about auras and it's fun. Medical shows. I have so many lawyers in my family. They can't watch Law and Order or legal dramas because it's just not, it's TV. Are you that way with medical shows, or do you like watching like procedural medical dramas?
I don't watch a ton of TV, but back in the day I watched ER. And recently I've watched a few episodes of The Pit, and I have to say, I really like it. And here's why. I think it's really well done, but also they'll say fancy things and then they'll explain it in a way like they're almost teaching the audience about these things.
Right.
And like the doctor who likes to educate in me is like, yes, this is what TV should be. So yeah, highly recommended. Please watch The Pit.
Wow, that's a great endorsement. And it won the Emmy for Best Drama, I believe, if my memory serves. But I got to be honest, I don't like remember when CSI came out? Like, I like shows that force you to catch up. And like CSI is like, they're like over this cadaver. Now, what are you doing that for? Well, if I do this, it's like, I'll pick up. I know you're over a dead body and I get that you're doing your job. You don't have to I don't think people talk like that. Like, do you talk to other doctors when you're standing over someone giving birth like that?
No, I talk to my patients usually because there's not another doctor in the room.
That's why you're a good doctor.
You do have to change the way that you talk, though, the words that you use and how you use them, because you want to make sure that you're understood.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. There are times I talk to you and you're such a good doctor and such a nice person. I almost wish I could have a baby just so you could be my OBGYN.
Pete.
How cute is that? Is that like the sweetest thing you've ever heard? Sommers?
It's weird.
It's up there.
It's totally weird. It's almost as weird as the Kennedy Kid Rock video. Kristen, thank you so much. You were so much fun. You're a blast.
I love hanging out with you. Thanks for the invite. Let's do it again.
Absolutely. Hey, you got a quick plug for your show this weekend? Who's coming up?
Abe, my oldest son. He's
that's
my
right.
producer. We're talking about media and how Gen Z digests it versus how Gen X digests it. Social media, legacy media. It's going to be an interesting show.
Fascinating. Do not miss the Dr. Kristen Lyerly show here on Civic Media. Thank you very much, my friend. Have a great night and take care of those injuries, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Mwah.
See you later. Bye. That's Dr. Kristen Lyerly. Check out her show. Be a patient. Just follow her on social media. She's always so much fun. Sommers, is it really obvious when she's on that I'm trying to get free medical advice?
Well, it is when you say you have her on for free medical advice. I think when you tell her that's the reason, it kind of gives it away.
That's the giveaway. See, I tipped my hand. That's the problem, right? Yeah, fair enough. All right, Kristen Lyerly, folks, check out her show. We have got Steve Gillespie coming up in just a couple minutes. He's going to tell a very funny comedian. And he's going to tell us.
Hear a clip of him. We have just enough time.
Do we have enough time? Let's play Steve's clip. Here's a clip of Steve Gillespie, our next guest, coming up after the break.
I can pinpoint that first moment that I felt anxiety in my life. I can really pinpoint it. It was when I had a shower with my classmates in middle school. Do you guys remember public education? Do you guys remember what that was? It was like history, geometry, a little bit of prison. And they put me on Ritalin. What a strange sequence of events that was. Hey, you're having a hard time focusing. Here's some speed. Welcome Okay, you're good and focused. Now go get in a shower and bathe with everybody you grew up with. Come on, get in there naked, 12 inches apart. That's what the taxpayers are paying for. Let's go. I mean, it was fine. There was an adult there watching, so what? No big deal. It's just an adult man there.
It's just so bizarre. I want to clarify really quickly. Zomer 608 says Zomers wanted Super Bowl score to be 1-0. You told him you can't score 1 point. That's what that text was in relation to. Apparently, you can score 1 point. I need to be a bigger fan. We're coming right back with Steve Gillespie. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Taco Bell's new Let's Value menu.
It's where we live.
Oops. Didn't mean for the Taco Bell to happen.
Are you ready to crack open something amazing? Whether it's
Anyway.
Mr. Gillespie, hey, buddy. How are you?
Hi, Pete. How are you doing?
Great to meet you, man. Thanks for doing this.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Zomers,
Oh,
does
great.
it sound good?
You can hear us?
I can hear you. I got my headphones on and everything.
Where are you, living,
Were
Steve?
you guys just playing some of my comedy? Did I hear myself, or
Yeah.
is that something else? Oh, okay.
We played a quick clip. I let the one where you talking about showering and with the middle school or whatever.
Yeah.
It was, you know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
there's an adult male watching.
Yeah.
You probably are. Well, you're from Ripon, or were born in Ripon.
Yes, I was.
Okay. Because I was going to say my dad and my uncle, they all have stories when going to Catholic school, like where they had this is bizarre stuff like what you were saying, you know.
Yeah, that was just public school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you joining us from tonight, Steve?
I'm at home. I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, so you are based out of Denver. Okay, cool.
Are we? We're not on the air right now. Are we?
We people that are watching on the stream can hear us, so I probably should have warned you about that, but
No,
we haven't
that's
said
fine.
anything too inflammatory.
No, I'm good. I got my pants on and everything.
Sweet. We wouldn't know because of the shot, which we appreciate. Steve, we'll talk about the show you're doing. Where's my glasses?
Okay.
But if there's anything else you want me to ask you about, fire away. I'm happy to steer you there.
Yeah, no, that should cover it. I mean, we got a couple shows coming up in Wisconsin, March 6th and 7th. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. Do you ever work comedy on state?
Yes, I have. I did my second album there.
Oh, nice.
All right, back in about 20 seconds.
Welcome back. We are jamming through Act 3 here tonight on a Wednesday of Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba. It's great to have you here. We're talking about the things we love to talk about, comedy and movies and TV and music and all kinds of fun stuff. And thank you for being here. Monica from Mount Horeb in the 608 says, the great Santini, despite it being so difficult, watching how he bullies his son. Yeah, that was tough. That's her favorite Robert Duvall movie. Thank you, Monica. Hope you enjoy the Sean Cassidy concert. She texted us earlier saying she was in line at the Barrymore. Dave in DeForest says Secondhand Lions from the 608 is his favorite.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that
that
is
one.
the voice of my next guest, Mr. Steve Gillespie. Very funny comedian. Steve, I had this huge intro. You've done so many cool things. You've been on TV a ton, namely Conan, which is such a great credit. You've had best-selling, this blew me away, because I know your brother Bob. We're friends. Bob's funny, but he doesn't have a best-selling, he lives in Costa Rica, but he doesn't have a best-selling comedy album. Do you guys?
I think you would trade. I think you would trade having a house in Costa Rica for that.
Maybe. Steve's album Alive on State reached #1 on iTunes comedy charts and hit the top 10 on the Billboard charts. He's here tonight to tell us about this cool show. I've kind of been talking about this all night, Steve. You're the Dose Psychedelic Comedy Show. But you let's start with your Duvall film. Were you a fan of his in general?
Days of Thunder.
Nice. Okay. And somebody called that Top Gun adjacent, and I thought that was interesting.
It's kind of is, yeah. I just saw it again recently. I was in a hotel room, I can't remember what city I was in, but I was in a hotel room late at night and I caught it. And I really, it'd been so long since I'd seen it. And I was like, you know what? It's a good movie. It's a good, fun movie. I liked it a lot more than I remembered liking it.
Have you
Yeah.
seen F1?
No, I heard it's good though. I
Yeah.
heard it's good.
I
Yeah.
wonder, because I don't remember Days of Thunder very well. I did see it, but I saw F1. I liked F1. The Best Picture nomination threw my whole universe into upheaval, but it was it was a nice movie. But
I can't remember any other Robert Duvall movies. I know there's a bunch out there, but I can't really remember. I mean, obviously The Godfather, right? I
Right.
mean, he was, yeah, those are good.
he's been in so much, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk. I want to mention something else. You have a Wisconsin connection. You and your brother, the aforementioned Bob, were born and raised for how long in Ripon?
I was born there, so I was there until 18 when I went to college. Yeah, I actually went to Ripon
okay.
College for a couple of years too. So
you have a strong Wisconsin connection. I didn't realize you
Oh,
guys. Okay, and
Yep.
were you like? Could you not wait to get out, or was it hard to leave? Give us a little Wisconsin porn.
I wouldn't say it was hard to leave. I just ended up going to grad school in Minnesota at the University of Minnesota, and then that's where I started. I just started doing stand up in Minneapolis, and just kind of ended up being there for a long time. But I mean, I love Wisconsin. I love going back. I like performing there. I mean, Milwaukee and Madison are one of my favorite places to do stand up. Yeah, Wisconsin's been really good to me over the years. All
Yeah.
those places, Appleton, Eau Claire. I think my dad still lives in northern Wisconsin, up in what is it called? Lake. God, I'm
Like
blanking on it right now.
Minocqua, Eagle
Minocqua,
River?
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minocqua.
Nice.
So I go back. My mom lives in Green Lake now, so yeah, I still go back quite a bit.
That's so cool. Let's talk comedy. Your act has been described, and I got this off a comedy club website, so I don't know if you wrote it or the club wrote it, but after listening to the clip we just heard from you, I thought it was interesting. It says, Steve's act is a slap-happy balance of aggression and absurdity coupled with a delightfully pushy persona. It's like a comedian's personality. That's like the perfect combination.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, definitely more on the absurdist side, but like to push the envelope a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
All right. You've also worked with some of my favorites. Rory Scovel, who I haven't done stand-up in years, but I know his stuff. Dave Attell, got to work with him back in the day. Great comic. And
I got a
Harlan-
funny Dave Attell story.
Oh, please share it. If you can.
It's such a funny, like, just being a young comedian who's starstruck. I was so nervous. We're in the green room together. It's just me and him. I think at that point I'd probably been doing stand-up maybe 5 or 6 years. It's like a sold out show. I don't even know how I got the gig. I don't even, it was just like a stroke of luck to be able to open for him. And we're sitting in the green room and I don't know what to say to him. I don't know what to do, I'm like nervous. And they had a box of Trivia Pursuit cards in it.
Right.
In the green room. So I picked that up and I started reading him Trivia Pursuit questions. And after about the fourth one, he just goes, "Yeah, can we not do this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, man." But then he was so nice. He watched my whole set, and then after the show he came up to me and like referenced a couple of my jokes, and he was a really sweet guy. He just didn't want to be bombarded with Trivia Pursuit questions by a nervous kid.
Maybe it was the category. Maybe if you switch categories, he would have been okay with it.
I lost the audio.
Oh, we can still hear you if you can hear us. Do we still have him, Aaron?
I can't hear you guys.
We can hear him.
Oh, we can hear you, Steve. If you
Could be the headphones, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. We've got comedian Steve Gillespie.
I'm gonna
here.
try to just pop out.
Sure.
And pop back in.
We've got comedian Steve Gillespie here. When we come back, we're going to do the news, and then Steve is going to come back and tell us about this really cool show he's hosting and producing. It's called the Dose Psychedelic Comedy Show. It's coming to Wisconsin, and I'll tell you about a couple other dates he has coming to the Dairy State as well. He's a native Wisconsinite and hilariously funny. And we are coming right back after the news with more from Steve Gillespie. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
WMDX, Madison, living side by side with Sandhill.
Are you able to hear us now?
I am. Sorry, I don't know what
Okay,
happened.
cool.
Well, that's okay. We could hear you. We were about to go to a break anyway. Glad you're back.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I imagine stuff like that happens from time to time.
Yeah,
Every so often, yeah. I might ask you, Steve, after we talk about your show. I typically ask guests what they're binge watching on TV. It's just sort of a topic.
Yeah. Oh man, I just started binge watching this show about James Garfield.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, what is that?
Death by Lightning, I think.
Yeah. No, I've heard
really-
people. Is it addicting?
It's great. Yeah, I think it was really good. I'm into history, so
Cool.
it fits. But
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. Attell, I worked with him at the Catch a Rising Star in St. Louis when it was there, and we ended up going to Hooters. It was in a huge mall, and oh man, he was trying so hard to flirt with this waitress. It was so funny. And but same thing. I was like, he like before he went up, he like kind of tracked me down as I was leaving the stage. He goes, "Hey, I like your." I did a joke about pinky rings. I didn't even think it was that funny, but I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, Dave Attell liked one of my jokes." Like, because
Yeah.
he's the gold standard for like joke writing. You know?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, was that his Insomniac days?
It would have been probably 96 ish, right before I
Probably
moved
a
to
little
LA.
before that, yeah. Because when I remember watching that Insomniac show on Comedy Central, that must have been like late 90s, early 2000. But that was when he was like, he was drinking a lot.
Okay. When did you start, Steve?
2004.
Okay.
No, 2006. 2006, sorry.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm on my 20th. I'm on my 20th year.
Good for you, man. That's so cool.
Or over my 20th year. Just had my 20th year anniversary. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Is John Cooney and Wits End? I'm sure that club is probably gone.
That I did it once a
Oh.
long time ago, but I think that closed probably around like 2012, 13, 14, somewhere around there.
Okay. He
Yeah.
was a nice guy. I worked there a few times. Good dude.
Did you know John Novosad? Hippie man?
No. Who?
The hippie man?
No, I don't think so.
Oh man, he's still going. But he lives in Boulder, but he's been out here forever. But he's really funny. He's probably been doing comedy almost over 30 years, I bet.
Oh, wow. I remember Michael Floorwax, who was a radio guy, I think, in Minneapolis. But did he live in Denver? Anyway, and then a guy did all those A&E shows when they were on. One of them was called Comedy on the Road, and I did that with a guy named Thad Baxley, Thor Baxley.
Oh, Baxley, Troy Baxley.
Troy Baxley, yeah, he was a very nice guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a legend around these parts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been popping about. He had like a brain injury.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but he's been popping up around some of the local shows and like trying to go up. He's
Wow.
talking slow and kind of figuring
Oh.
it all out again. But yeah, I never really knew him. I kind of came here after he'd stopped doing it for a while, but There's a lot of Troy
too
Baxley
bad.
stories out there.
Yeah, he was a heck of a nice guy, and that was before social media, so I didn't really. We probably swapped numbers, and then you know how that goes. But
Mhm.
and my favorite Denver comic that I know was probably Roger Rittenhouse. Do you know Roger?
I don't know Roger Rittenhouse. I don't know that.
He was in L.A. probably by the early '90s, but just a great joke writer, very dark sense of
Yeah.
humor, and his clips are probably out there somewhere.
Did you
What
know
made
Nancy? Did you know Nancy Norton?
No,
Ah, she's the best too. She's
Nancy
she's
Norton.
so funny. Yeah.
Who was the woman? There was another comedian from there, Catherine Weiss. Catherine Weiss or something. Oh, yeah,
15 seconds.
Okay.
There's a lot of us out there, huh?
Yeah. Denver's a good comedy town.
Welcome back.
Hey, that always reminds me of that Bill Hicks special.
Oh, nice call. Yeah,
That song always reminds me of that special.
that's a great call. That is Steve Gillespie, my current guest. We are back here for the home stretch of Nite Lite tonight on a Wednesday night. Nick Spookster on the stream says Nick Offerman. What were we talking about, Summers?
I don't remember. That was early on in the break.
Early on in the break. Okay.
I think you were
and
trying
we-
to remember somebody's name.
He's in that show I was just talking about. He's in
There you
the
go.
Death by Lightning show.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you, Spookster. Appreciate that. Sydney Frankenstein says, "Welcome back, Pete." Thank you, Sydney. Great to be back. All right, Steve Gillespie is my guest here on Nite Lite. Steve and I, this is our first meeting. I'm friends with his brother Bob, who is also a funny comedian, and Steve is joined the show tonight because he's got a really cool show that he's traveled around, and it's this wildly popular show called the Dose Psychedelic Comedy Show. Steve, tell us about this show.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely out there a little bit, but we've been doing it about 3 years. It started in Denver. We've been touring all over the country with it. Basically, what it is we set up a safe space for both the audience and the performers to experiment if they so choose. There's no pressure to do anything, but we set up that space, and it's a fully immersive psychedelic experience. It's a multimedia event where we have a live DJ, we have visuals, we have flow performers, and then that leads into a stand-up comedy show.
I thought you meant experiment sexually. Thank God. Okay.
and the live DJ stays on stage with me. So I do a very interactive set with him, an interactive stand-up set with him, with just music cues and sound effects and stuff. So it's a very multi-layered type of performance, I guess is how I describe it.
You called it out there, like like when psychedelic, that insinuates that there are like drugs involved, and I don't want to make assumptions, but like I would imagine the rules are different state to state. How does that work? Are people passing stuff out when they walk in the door? Can they bring their own stuff or what?
Yeah, we don't provide anything to anyone. Okay. We don't sell anything or provide anything. But in general, most of the audience is partaking in some sort of psychedelic. Typically, it's psilocybin mushrooms, I would guess. And then I typically will also be in that space, in that headspace, for the show. And
How does that affect? Like, I don't know much about drugs. I do them all the time, but I just don't ask questions. But what does that mean? Like, when does it change your comedy? I guess when you're under the influence like that.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I would say yes, but I don't. I think, I've been using psychedelics for probably, at least 15 years now. And not that I was using them to perform in regular shows, but it was starting to shape how I was like perceiving the world and my material and stuff like that. So I don't really know how much it's like on a day-to-day basis, like a show-to-show basis between the two, like how much different like my material is going to be. There's some subject matter that's a little different with the psychedelic show because I will just talk, about the psychedelic experience more than I would in just a regular comedy show. But I'm still doing a lot of just my regular stand-up in that show as well, and vice versa. I think what's really happening with that show and what I think makes it unique is that when most of the audience is also in that headspace as the same headspace that I'm in, that's just like a whole nother level of connection that's happening within that show. That's probably not happening on just a regular drunk audience. So I guess that's kind of different. And it does get a lot more absurd and silly, especially like working with the DJ. So there's a lot more improvisational stuff that's happening with him, and a lot of back and forth. That's obviously not happening when I'm just doing regular stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the subject matter gets maybe a little bit more personal, a little bit deeper too. I will talk a lot more about some deeper concepts of like consciousness and some spirituality stuff. Some of the things that just kind of go hand in hand with the psychedelic experience.
Wow, that sounds really cool. And you're bringing the show to Wisconsin?
Yeah, we're coming back to Milwaukee and Madison. We did both those cities last year. We had 2 sold out shows last year in both Madison and Milwaukee, and then sort of on March 6th, we are in Madison at the Burr Oak, and
Okay.
on March 7th, we're in Milwaukee at Cooperage, it's called. So yeah, we're doing a lot of this stuff in alternative venues too, a lot of like music venues and rave venues, stuff like that. So if people are interested, you can go to the dosecomedyshow.com, and go to our tour dates, or you can go to the Cooperage. They have a website, or the Burr Oak also has a website that has the tickets on it. So
Very cool. What gave you this idea? Like, I've never heard of a show like this. I'm sure there are shows or stuff along these lines, but in terms of just stand-up comedy, comedians, audience, all kind of in the same space, as you say, was it kind of risky to pitch this? Did you get people on board right away?
yeah, I mean, what happened is I started getting booked to do stand up at some of these psychedelic festivals, like music festivals, where people are, going out into the middle of the mountains or the forest in the middle of nowhere, and they're dancing and raving for 3 straight days and doing God knows what.
Wow.
And just a couple of times people are like, "Hey, you should come do stand up at one of these events," and I was like, I'll give it a shot. I didn't really think it would be the best place for people to sit and try to listen to somebody for an hour, but it ended up being an amazing experience. And one in particular, I did this festival called June Jam outside of Flagstaff, Arizona, up in the mountains. And I got there, I was performing on a Saturday, I got there on a Thursday just to like be in the festival, and I was just walking around. I'm like, everybody's tripping on LSD or mushrooms, everyone's in this space, and now I'm going to go on stage not in that space and try to entertain them for an hour. It just seemed really disingenuous, and I just didn't think it was going to work. So I decided that I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this tab of acid and I'm going to take this before I perform and just see what happens. And it just ended up being such like a transcending experience for me in that moment.
Wow.
And I just felt so connected to the audience. I was able to like really riff and improv on things that were happening in the festival, and it ended up just gave me the confidence of being like, if it's done right, if it's set up right, this could be something that could be really fun to do, and something that people could really latch onto. There just stand up isn't really being done in that space. There's a lot of music,
Yeah.
happening. There's a lot of like live art going on, people live painting and doing all kinds of other forms of art. but there's never really been anyone trying to do like a spoken performance. So I just felt like it was sort of this like untapped market, this untapped, space to try to bring stand-up comedy into.
Steve Gillespie is my guest. Very funny and talented comedian. You've maybe seen him on Conan. He's also had best-selling comedy albums, which is pretty cool, on iTunes and Billboard. He is bringing his show, The Dose, a psychedelic comedy show, to Wisconsin March 6th and 7th. Dates in Milwaukee and Madison. Can people find out more information, Steve? Do you have like a website or something?
Yeah, thedosecomedyshow.com.
Okay.
You can also go to the Dose Comedy Show on Instagram. My regular Instagram is Comic Gillespie. If you just search Stephen Gillespie or Steve Gillespie, you'll find all that stuff. So,
am I crazy, or does it seem like almost everybody has the internet now?
Yeah, almost.
We're getting there. Let
Some
me ask you
days
this.
I wish I didn't.
Yeah, no kidding. If you had to do a show, what would be easier for you if only one entity was on psychedelics, the comedian or the crowd?
If I had, so either I had to be on psychedelics and the crowd wasn't, or the crowd had to
Or
be on
vice
psychedelics
versa.
and
Yeah.
I would say that the crowd, if the crowd is on psychedelics and I'm not, and I'm still just doing stand-up, I'd rather do that. Do
Okay.
that, yeah. If the crowd's not on psychedelics and I am, that's gonna be really difficult. That's gonna be difficult.
Oh, well, this sounds like a really cool show. I'm very curious, and
You gotta come, Pete. Come
I think
hang
it's
out.
it sounds like an absolute. I might actually be in Madison for one of those days, so we'll definitely keep in touch with you on that. And so, who are your favorite comics right now, Steve? Like, who, when you flip around the dial, who is it? Like, oh, I got to watch this, or are you like a lot of comics, you don't want to watch comedy?
Oh yeah, I mean, I still watch a fair amount, and I mean, I still like get very inspired by comedians, and I mean, God, I don't know if you know Eddie Pepitone. I think is one of the funniest.
Oh wow, yeah.
People, his special For the Masses, I think, is one of my favorite specials that's been done in the last 10 years. That's such an incredible special. There's a new guy, Jeffrey Osmus. He's actually from Wisconsin. He's in New York now, but he's a Madison kid. Actually, you know what? He grew up in Minnesota, but then he started in Madison. He's really funny. He's crushing it. He's a very just incredible joke writer. The amount of work, the amount of stuff he's putting out is really impressive. There's a lot of guys. Roy Scovel is another one I think is really funny. Maria Bamford, she's really funny. I'm trying to think of some like really
so
new
many great
people.
names, like thanks to Reels. Like I didn't know a lot of the new comedians until I found Reels, and then you click on one, you get all this. But there's some really good stand-ups
there's
out
a lot
there.
of stuff.
So what?
What?
Do we lose
It
him
happened
again?
again. It seems like when Aaron comes on, that my
What about
now?
audio goes out.
Well,
Did it come back on when he came back? Steve,
Maybe
we'll
so.
keep
Okay.
you.
Sorry,
Well,
guys.
That's
That's my
okay.
fault.
If you can hear us, we'll keep you for a couple minutes after the break, and then we'll do that. I want to ask him about Denver and how he ended up in Denver. So we'll do that, and we'll finish up the show with some text, too, after this very short break. But tomorrow night, folks, on the show that I like to call Nite Lite, we've got another great show coming your way. Tomorrow night, we will have Greg Pregel, who is a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, teaching acting. From Appleton Cigar, our pal Norm Kopeski, he will be here. Aaron, have you met Norm?
I have not. No.
Don't make him mad, dude.
Okay. All right. I'll stay out of it.
He's all dude. He's got the beard, the cigar, the raspy voice. He's a great guest, and he puts out a great product. Appleton Cigar is a great place. Daniel Wheeler will be here to make the popcorn pick of the week tomorrow. That'll be fun, talking to our pal Danny Wheels. And then my pal Mike Schmidt, very funny comedian, will be here tomorrow night at 7:20. And we'll just let Mike tell stories and try to stay out of his way. When we come back, we'll close up our interview with our new pal, Steve Gillespie, comedian, very funny comedian, will be here. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. We're coming right back.
voices.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I'll just leave my camera off now. So.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'll probably let Steve go. We'll just keep Steve for 2 or 3 more minutes, and then so I don't think that will be a factor if that's what it is. Did they make an announcement about the new format, Zommers?
I
Like,
don't
are they running ads
know.
or okay? I didn't know if I should say anything or not, and I was in 2 meetings.
So I think right now the only things that are running are just saying things are going to be different, but
Okay.
not specifying how.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know. It
Hey, man.
seems to happen when the Zommer Aaron pops up.
Yeah,
for
no
some reason.
problem. No worries. Sometimes we get stuff that hasn't happened before.
No one
like,
can figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, like holding the antenna and then touching the ceiling. You know, I don't know. Seems like we should be a little further along, but.
I mean, that's just a bad veto.
Contrary to Republican
I actually been doing that because I
December
have the smart TV, but to watch like the local football channel, watch
Yes.
like the Broncos, I gotta have an antenna set up to my TV, and then we can't ever get it in the right spot. We gotta keep futzing with it.
I was like, I cut the cord early on, probably 2015 or something, and the only thing that sucked about it was sports. So I'd go over to my dad's or my brother's or whatever, but it's tough. Now you can stream them, which is great, but you got to get so many different, like there's Fox, Paramount, NBC, ESPN. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, you're a Packer fan, right?
No, I spent the first part of my life in Chicago, like a couple miles west of Wrigley Field is where I grew up.
That's right. You made a movie about doing stand-up in Green Bay during a Packer-Bear game, right? Is that
Correct. Yeah, the
Did I have that right?
Godfather
Yeah,
of Green
yeah.
Bay. Yeah, and then I live now in the town we moved to. I left LA like 2011, and I've been here since, and was commuting for a while. But yeah, it's weird.
So what town are you in now?
Marinette. It's probably
Marinette?
it's like right on the border of Michigan, Steve. Like if you're going north on 41, we're the last town in Wisconsin. Then you got like 3 hours.
Yeah,
of
I
upper
know what that
Michigan.
is. I know what that is. Yeah. You're
They
kind
have
of
all
by
these-
Escanaba, right?
Yeah, we're like an hour south of Escanaba. And it's funny because now there's all these pot shops in Menominee. So all these people from even like Illinois where it's legal, I don't get how it works, but so many people I hear from that I haven't heard from in years because they're driving through Marinette to get weed in Menominee. It's like, hey, Pete, how's it going? I'm like, okay.
That's funny. Yeah, Escanaba and the Moonlight, I think. Isn't that movie that
Yes.
Jeff Daniels made?
And that guy that made that movie, the producer, and I have a couple projects we're pushing along. We've become friends
cool.
through that and our experiences. So yeah, it's interesting. I want to ask you, why Denver, Steve, instead of LA or New York?
We got about
Yeah, I
10
lived
seconds.
in LA.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to wait until we
Yeah, I'll ask you on the air. That's good. All right.
You guys are playing some bangers.
Always, buddy. Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nite Lite. Thank you for being here, folks, tonight. We had a great time tonight. This show will be available in podcast form at civicmedia.us. You can hear my interviews with Dr. Kristen Lyerly, Andy Wassman, and actor Alan Kapishke. So be sure and do that if you missed part of the show. On the stream, Daniel Barris Sports Highlight. That's the greatest streaming name I've ever seen. Says, Happy Wednesday, sup peoples. Not much, Daniel. Great to have you, though, buddy. We will get to some of your text on the text line to close the show in just a few minutes. Right now, we've got a couple more minutes with my guest, the very funny Steve Gillespie, who is bringing his comedy show, the Dose Psychedelic Comedy Show, to Wisconsin. This sounds like an absolute, really different, cool thing. So I would highly recommend it. March 6th and 7th. Check it out at the Dose psychedeliccomedyshow.com. Did I get that right, Steve?
The dosecomedyshow.com.
Dosecomedyshow.com. Okay. So we were talking about comics that make you laugh. What about your favorite? Well, first of all, Denver. You said you lived in LA for a while. Denver doesn't seem like, unless you're from there, like it's a place you go back to. What made you decide on Denver?
Yeah, I have been touring through there for years, and I always really liked it. I always really liked the comics. I was kind of already in with a lot of the clubs here. I was able to really get in with like the indie scene as well. And it was more of a lifestyle move for me because the things that I'm into just kind of fit well with this city. You know, I really like being in the outdoors. I really like the mountains. I rock climb, I hike, I camp, doing a lot of stuff
Wow.
outdoors. And it wasn't really, it was a pretty easy move for me. And I loved LA. I really did like living there. But once the pandemic hit,
Same.
it just was kind of just, it wasn't really a place I wanted to be during the pandemic. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So who, you mentioned Bill Hicks before, was he an influence of yours when you started, aside from your brother Bob, who I'm sure was your biggest influence? What comedians influenced your style?
Harlan Williams is a big one. Harlan Williams is probably the one that's the most ingrained in there. In fact, if you go back and listen to my very first album, I'm basically doing Harlan Williams more or less. And, you know, I was able to, as I got further along, etched out my own voice, but he was so funny. I actually got to work with him again within this past year. I opened for him at the Stanley Hotel up in Estes Park, and that was
nice.
awesome. He's such a good guy.
I opened for him when I was a stand-up at the Laugh Factory outside Chicago, and I've never, like, he was a good guy off stage. Like, I like just the banter back and forth. And then I think I lived close to him in LA because I used to see him at this restaurant all the time. But he, during one of his sets, he just stopped doing stand-up and he sang the song Beth from Kiss, like a cappella, the whole song. And the crowd was like, okay, well, this is interesting. And he just didn't care. I love comics like that. You know?
Yeah, he's a silly goose. He's really silly. Like we did when I opened for him up in Estes Park, he started every bit that he got into. He opened the bit with referencing the port in town. So every bit was like, I was down at the port, and there's like, it's Estes, Colorado. There isn't a port within. So it's just little things like that, or just I don't know. He just is always you never really know where he stands with anything. He's really silly, absurdist. So he's definitely a big influence. And man, you know, it's funny, when I was like the very first comic that I really loved when I was like 10 or 11 years old was Gallagher, which you're not allowed to say. You're
Right.
not supposed to say that as a stand-up.
You're
but if
safe
I'm
here.
being
It's okay.
honest- If I'm being honest, you know, 10-year-old Steve, oh man, a guy that's smashing watermelons and jumping on top of a trampoline that's made out of a couch. Like I don't know. It really
Well, look, you've
sticks
got
with me.
a really cool show you're doing, and you've mentioned Hicks and Attell. You got a ton of street cred, buddy. So you could have said whatever you wanted there too. I appreciate your honesty, but hey, this is really fun, Steve. I hope we can do this again, and I would love to see you when you're in Wisconsin. It's been great getting to know you, and yeah, keep breaking a leg, man.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it. Thanks for
You
having me
got
on.
it. Anytime. All right. That's Steve Gillespie. Check out the Dose Psychedelic Comedy Show coming to Wisconsin March 6th and 7th, his homeland, if you will. So what do you think, Zommers? Should we get like a Young Christian Singles bus tour or something and head out to the Psychedelic Comedy Show?
I think we might have to, you know.
I think we should too. I would love that.
I don't know that I might know a guy, you know. I might know a guy. I'm not
You
sure.
could set us up with some tickies. Eric from Madison in the 608 says Colors with Robert Duvall and Sean Penn. Great choice.
that's
Let's
a good
see if we can bang through some of these here. I almost read the colonoscopy thing from Kristen. I'm not going to do that though. Mark, we read that one. Let me see here. We read that one. Are we caught up, Sommers?
I think we're pretty caught up. Yeah.
Maybe I let Steve go too soon. Okay. Well, we've got, let's see, one more here. I think we've got this one. Don't know if it's my, here's Mark from Prairie du Sac in the 608 says, don't know if it's my favorite Robert Duvall movie, but The Handmaid's Tale in 1990, where he plays the commander, plays a pretty despicable character who'd fit right inside what the Trump administration Project 25, part of a cabal that overturns our government and is then part of the ruling cabal who gets to choose which women to breed with because his wife is now sterile. I just about cheered when he is dispatched at the end of the movie. Thank you, Mark, and sorry we missed your phone call earlier, Mark, but thank you for being part of the show. As I mentioned, coming up tomorrow night, we will have Norm Kopeski, one of our proud sponsors from Appleton Cigar. Love Norm. Comedian Mike Schmidt. We're just going to let him go, folks. Great storyteller. Daniel Wheeler, local artist, makes the popcorn pick of the week, and theater professor from the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, Greg Pragle, will be here. And I think that sounds like it's going to be a really fun show, Aaron. What do you think?
Should
Coming
be.
back? You'll be here, right?
I will.
Okay, thank God. Then I'll be here too. Folks, thank you all for your texts and calls. Always fun. Thank you to Dr. Kristen Lyerly, comedian Steve Gillespie, Andy Wassman, and Alan Kapitsky. We'll be back tomorrow night. On behalf of Mr. Aaron Zommers, a fine citizen, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks, Steve. It was great. I'll email you.
All right, sounds good.